class, here are some words and phrases you should familiarize yourself with in order to become fully experienced.
Sply boot, negroidian, soft and pink, rusty trombone, professional. How you doing? Third input.
Put that where? Back there.
Brown juice. Luxuriate. Friend in my head. Jump off. Tease and pop. Hot Susie. Oh, that's some old jams. Oh, man. The Wendy Williams Experience.
To bring you our feature presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, what your ears are about to witness, the greatest queen of all time. Okay, party people in the house.
Turn it up, yo. Turn it up. This is it. Allow me to reintroduce this
From west to east. Just better get it right. Y'all know the name. Wendy Williams. Been in this game for a while. I hate to brag.
Ain't nobody.
Hey, this phenomenal.
Like the queen.
Right here.
Who the world is this? With so much drama.
From yo block to yo block. I heard of the number one female. Been doing this for years.
Every barbershop, beauty salon.
Who the world is this? With so much
Again and again.
Wendy Williams.
Bringing your name up. A lot of you haters scared to death.
She at it again.
Wendy Williams.
She in it the win.
Wendy Williams.
She back and she staying.
Wendy Williams.
The ain't playing. I like to present you. The winner of the Gangsters of the Year Award.
Once again.
Introducing the queen.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It's Wendy Williams and the Wendy Williams Experience coming up today on the show. First of all, we're going to gossip about especially sexy new short hair Jen, because I am a non-believer. You cutting your hair to me was like Kerry Russell doing that thing she did during Felicity. Why? But then I look here and I know that because your hair is not this thickness. They've added tracks in and they've used small bobby pins to keep it up. How sexy does she look on the cover of the new Elle magazine? Go J-Lo. And by the way, if there's anything to the rumor about you being, 3 to 6 weeks pregnant, congratulations. This is a good last hurrah. Featured on the fall issue. September Elle is on magazine stands now. And, for the men, because I get them all. Complex magazine. Do you read that, men? Well, never you mind. It's not even necessary. I read it for you and I pull to, what I think is important. Some of the best ways to, as they say in Complex magazine, I hate the phrase, ball for fall. But you know what it means. If I was the queen of all magazines, it would have been written differently. But some of the best ways to ball for fall, and they're saying shirts representing a piece of who you are. So, if you wear Biggie or if you're wearing a Seahorses or, a tennis player, I see they have an Adidas t-shirt with one of the tennis greats. It's not Agassi. I don't know who. Holding a tennis racket, giving the middle finger with the Adidas sign. So, men, it's still fine for you to wear. And denim jackets, men, another way to ball for fall. Classic pieces built into your wardrobe and stuff. So we'll be talking about that throughout the day. Updated cameras and all that stuff. Hey, look, that email is still going around, and I'm getting a little tired of it. Just because I don't want you all to, think that that's me. Otherwise, I love the publicity. And you know which email I'm talking about. Wendy Williams says, and then there's like 150 things listed in the gossip world. Who Wendy supposedly said who's gay, who supposedly has STDs, bad breath, coochie sores.
Oh.
You understand what I'm saying? Wendy says none of that. Wendy doesn't even know how to turn on the computer, much less go on the internet. And I'm a little embarrassed about admitting that, but I am part of probably 10% of the population. I do nothing online. I have a website. It's monitored by the, I tell one of the girls, can you just, zhuzh up the website and then take me page through page and let me just see what my website looks like. I don't have time to be sitting there, writing an email, although it's very interesting to read, but, libelly speaking, I'm taking my name off that. That is not me. And it's buzzing. Every day at least 10 times during my radio show. Some of you all send it to me. Wendy, did you really say this? Oh, this is fire. The reason why so-and-so sings so well but hasn't gone on and made bigger hits is because, she's a slut in the industry. Well, I love the drama. It is not me. I'm not taking that and wearing it. I own up to mine. So if you happen to get that, just read it and luxuriate in it. But I didn't say that. And I know nothing about it. You know what I forgot to tell you guys I saw over the weekend? And crap, I guess none of you all saw it. But you want to know what? And I would have done justice in promoting it if I knew on Friday for the show. Gang of Roses. That movie that little Kim has been working on for so long. The Western about all the girls. Lisa Ray, Monica Calhoun, little Kim, and it was 2 other girls. I can't even think of. Oh, Stacey Dash. And 1 other girl. It was 5 girls. It was the most unrealistic Western possible. And Kim, you are the worst actress. But you know what? Ironically enough, and it wasn't. It was just it was an awful movie. Lisa Ray played her part well, though. Monica Calhoun did. But it was just an awful movie. And it came on TV on Saturday. Let me think. Was it Saturday or was it Sunday? Oh, it was before sunset, but just at the time, everything looks pretty when the sun comes across your house. It was beautiful, Saturday and Sunday. I forget which, but clearly after 7 o'clock. It was after 6 o'clock p.m. that it came on, but before 9, And I saw it, and I wasn't going to. I was like, oh man, it was on UPN, I think, and I found myself going right back to it like 5 minutes into it. So I saw it from beginning to end. It was awful, but good publicity. I wish I knew about it on Friday because I would have reminded everybody to watch it. Gang of Roses. And I don't know that they're going to repeat it because it was on UPN. So it's not like they're like, BET, VH1, MTV, where they repeat 100 times. Although my channel VH1 is good for buying stuff like that and then just rerun it. Michael Hirschhorn and everybody over at VH1, probably you should look into that one. Gang of Roses. It'll never be seen again. And nobody saw it enough. You could get some good Saturday afternoon ratings, providing Being Bobby Brown is not over on Bravo doing a marathon, because that slays everybody. You know what I mean? Gang of Roses. Did you see that? Art, can you look in that other room with your laser eyes and just tell me if the fax machine looks like it's blinking red or blinking green?
It's straight.
It's straight? Okay. Unlike you, Miss Honey. How you doing? All right, the fax machine is straight. At 866-GET-WENDY. Just tell me if you saw Gang of Roses and what you thought about it and whatnot. And you can fax really about anything. Hey, we got the results to yesterday's People Poll question, and I'm ready to give you a new one. The People Poll question from yesterday is, do you believe once a cheater, always a cheater? It was close, but 52% of people said yes, and 48% of people said no. There is no gray area on this, and I realize that in life there is a gray area in something like that. You know what I mean? But we deal with black and white, yes or no on the fax machine. Yes or no. No gray area. No maybe. Although, you know what? Art, maybe we should put a maybe column. Some of the questions, no.
Yes or no?
Yes or no, that's it. Why don't we want a maybe?
Don't need no maybe. Either you're in or you're out. No lukewarm. Hot or cold.
But life doesn't operate like that, especially with cheating. But yes or no, okay, fine. Once a cheater, always a cheater. 52% of people said yes. 48% of people said no. Here's the new question. You can go to the WendyWilliamsExperience.com, by the way. It'll take you like no time at all. Just get on the website and do a yes or no. Does being Bobby Brown damage Whitney Houston's career and reputation even further? 3 people in the room. Zoe, what do you say? I say yes. Yeah. Zoe says yes, but her face is scunching like she smells something, which means you could be, a maybe person if we had a maybe category?
Yeah, there was a maybe, I'd say maybe.
Yeah.
I'm leaning more towards yes.
Yes or no, exactly. Definitive answers. Art, what do you say?
No.
If there was a maybe category, would you do maybe?
No, I say no.
Because we already, why, what is your answer for saying no? The question is, does being Bobby Brown damage Whitney's career and reputation even further?
It was damaged a long time ago.
Yeah. That just confirms, if anything.
Yeah.
See, I didn't need a confirmation. I'm jaded. I say no because in my mind, I already knew it was what it was.
Yeah. It was a rap years ago.
Yeah. And Bobby Christina and holding on to teddy bears and eating into oblivion. And it almost seems like she's more mature than both of her parents. Hey, you guys, how about this? Does it seem like Bobby Christina has a better reputation with Bobby than Whitney? Not reputation, but relationship? Like, there's something a little weird about that mother-daughter relationship. It's not quite as, warm or...
Yeah.
Oh, it was just like strange. Oddly enough, Bobby's coming out as the better parent. Shut up. All right, but anyway, it's not about that. Does Bobby Brown's show damage Whitney's career even further? Yes or no on the website. Keep it here, you guys. Thanks.
Wendy, man.
My boyfriend and I have been dating for like about 4 months now, and first time we had sex, he could not get it up at all.
Maybe it's drinking. Is he a drug user? Does he take any depressants or anything?
No, nothing.
Maybe it's...
How you doing? The Wendy Williams Experience.
Taking care of your health is important, but it can be expensive. I know a lot of you out there have some trouble paying for your prescriptions, especially when you don't have prescription coverage. Well, the good folks and Together RX Access have a solution for you. Sign up for the new Together RX Access card, and you could start saving 25 to 40% and sometimes more on over 275 brand name prescriptions, including Lipitor, Allegra, and Nexium. Together RX Access even helps you save money on diabetic supplies and on many generic prescriptions, too. If you have no prescription coverage, you may qualify for Together RX. Certain income limitations apply. Discounts do vary by drug and pharmacy location. Go by your name today and pick up an application for your Together RX Access card. Walgreens, the pharmacy America trusts.
My phone calls.
Hello? Wait, but take that around to the other side. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's okay. A lot going on. It's 107.5 WBLS. Today's R&B Classic Soul and the Wendy Williams Experience. Shout out to everybody I saw this morning at Home Depot. I had a really nice, pleasant experience. Do you see what the Home Depot shoes look like? This is why I was able to go. You know, you go to wear flat, like thongs. When you go into Home Depot, you have to have the furthest thing from your mind is looking like anything remotely tolerable to men. I mean, you know what I mean? You almost got to look in yourself in the mirror and then zhuzh it down 1,000%. And it's terrible it has to be like that when you're a woman wanting to go into there or any one of these, male-oriented places. I find myself, I avoid car washes, I avoid liquor stores, and if I could, I would avoid, home repair stores just because they all three have one thing in common, and that is skeevy men who, you know what I'm saying? I hate it. I plot on the time and everything. I got up this morning. I was at the Home Depot by like 8:30 in the morning just to kind of beat the crowd and avoid them. And the flip-flops, the sunglasses, the list to just get in and out, not have to ask a whole bunch of questions and make conversation and stuff. Anyway. In the Bronx, everybody, on Saturday, which is this Saturday, August 6th, you can join the WBLS street team. You know where they're going to be? At the Bronx Suzuki on 4070 Boston Road. Do you know? 4070 Boston Road. All right, so that's on Saturday at 3 p.m. And the WBLS Hummer will be there. They've got like WBLS stuff, from the promotions department and whatever. And then as long as you're over there, maybe you want to look at a car. Bronx Suzuki, 3 p.m. on Saturday. My peoples from the WBLS street team will be over there. Did you hear about this woman who said that she burned her behind on the toilet seat? Well, this is about that time of day where nobody's really using the toilet at their own home unless you're fortunate enough to be a stay-at-home, and have the luxury of, just recycling your own germs, which everybody would much rather do that than use them out at your house. In St. Louis, this woman is claiming that her booty was burned by the cleaning fluids that apparently were used on the toilet seat at a Denny's restaurant. Yeah, in St. Louis. And so she's suing Denny's and also the franchise owner. Her name is Kathleen Williams, no relation. And the lawsuit was filed last week, Wednesday. Apparently, this happened when she used the toilet at this Denny's back in February of 2002. And according to the lawsuit, she didn't see the chemical cleaner on the seat. But when she sat down, she felt the burn. Which, you know, you think that sounds crazy, but that's highly possible. If you've got skin-sensitive skin, you don't necessarily have to see the pine sol or whatever's on the toilet seat there if you're that sensitive. The results of the injury, they say, were that her nerves were apparently damaged on her butt, and she's got pain there now 24 hours a day. She's got to wear a special garment designed for burn victims. She's looking for $25,000. So she's blaming everybody. I'll let you know how that turns out. Mm-hmm. All right, listen, we're going to keep on moving with this little party. Yep, it's the Wendy Williams experience. I think Vaughn is out all week, so Champagne's been in, well, yesterday and, yesterday was Monday, so yesterday and today. Yeah, Champagne at 7 o'clock in for Vaughn Harper because he's on summer vacation. It's 107.5 WBLS.
Hennessy and 107.5 WBLS is sending one listener and a guest to France for Hennessy's VIP Access Weekend. You'll start in the town of Cognac, home of Hennessy, where you'll see the skills and craftsmanship that goes into making each bottle of Hennessy Cognac, as well as tour Hennessy cellars, which house a collection of cognacs that are over 200 years old. After experiencing the magic of Hennessy's in Cognac, it's off to Paris for the private concert by Common.
Yeah, this is Common. Asking you to keep listening to Von Harper on WBLS for your chance to win a Hennessy VIP Access Weekend. You will be my guest at my private concert in Paris. Stay tuned to WBLS this week from 7 p.m. to midnight for your chance to experience a trip of a lifetime.
Hennessy VS Cognac. Stand apart. Set your own rules. Never blend in. Please drink responsibly. Hennessy 40% alcohol by volume. Imported by Moet Hennessy, USA, New York.
Wendy Williams! Microphone check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Wendy Williams, experience.
This is exclusively
Wendy's got the heat.
It's the Wendy Williams experience, everyone. Coming up next hour is Advice Hour. And I will be talking about this guy. He's 32 years old. He's been married for 4 years. He's in love with his wife. He's got 2 great kids. But last night, when he got home from work, he found his kids sleeping and his wife sitting on the side of the bed crying. So I'll tell you the rest of the story as the drama unfolds next hour for Advice Hour. Then I have this other correspondence from this woman who's 24, and she's about to be a part of her closest friend's wedding. But last night was the rehearsal dinner. And she says it was lovely until she went in the bathroom. Okay? Next hour, it's Advice Hour. I'm telling you, I'm not a professional. I'm just a woman with an opinion, lived a little bit, and don't mind, sharing with you some of maybe the snafus going on in your life. Maybe we can come to some resolution together. Also, next hour for Advice Hour, well, this woman who's 42 years old, she says, Wendy, I'm a woman of a certain age. Okay, 42. And I'm recently divorced from a 23-year marriage. And I'll explain the rest to you once again next hour during Advice Hour. Okay, I love Advice Hour, and I go to the telephones, and the number is 866-GET-WENDY. But just hold off about 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes before you start using the phones. And also, I look at my faxes. I sit right next to the fax. I'm an old-fashioned. The email, it takes up too much room to have the computer here, and so okay, I just like faxes better. They speak to me. They're so easy to retrieve. B-Love is listening. Hey, B-Love. B-Love says, Wendy, Gang of Roses was a low-budget female version of the movie Posse. Straight to video. BS. Thank you, B-Love. So, Rolanda Watts, everybody, has a new job. Is her show still on the Pax Network? Are they doing anything with that, Pax? Were you a fan of the show before?
No.
It just sounds boring. Do you remember what the show was about? Rolanda came on the show and promoted it, and I've watched it a few times, and I like it when I watch it. It's called Lie Detector. I think it comes on Tuesday nights. I think it's on tonight on PAX.
So you think?
Well, but there are a lot of shows on TV like that where I don't know exactly when it comes on, but I know whenever I see it, I like it. That's one of those shows. Either last night or tonight. Anyway, Pax. Anyway, Rolanda, she's going to be the new voice of the Judge Joe Brown show, Hit the Crickets. I'm surprised this man is still in the air. Seems like a nice man in person, but it's got the personality of drying paint. I just don't... Anyway, he's on, filling in, I guess, time until something more palatable comes on TV. Fall is coming, so apparently he's not going to be canceled, though, because Rolanda's going to be the new voice. I guess they add some spice to the show. In addition to voicing all the narration for the show, Rolanda will also be the voice for the show's television and radio commercials. In other words, we're not going to see her, although watch your back, Judge Joe Brown. As much as I'm sure Rolanda thinks doing her little show on PAX is, well, cute. There's nothing like network TV. You know, that's where the money is. That's still where the audience is. UPN, WB, NBC, ABC, CBS. Shout out to VH1, I love you. But we all know where I'm trying to go, you know, network would be king. Unless I got a little cable opportunity that was, you know, like being Bobby Brown. Who would have ever thought Bravo? Why does everything come back to being Bobby Brown? Because it's good. Shut up. Who would have ever thought? I mean, Bravo wasn't even on the map with me for a moment there, Queer Eye.
Did you watch Project Runway?
I didn't care about Project Runway, Zoe, and I just talked about Project Runway yesterday. You know the fat white guy who won from a couple of...
I listened.
Do you know that he's about to have his own show?
I heard you say.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
I love that when you're not here that you listen.
I listened that.
Yeah, you listened at your other job that was actually paying you money. What is the fat guy's name?
Jay.
Right, it's called Project Jay, everybody. And the camera follows him around as he moves to New York and then becomes... Well, we'll see what he becomes.
Designer.
Yeah. Anyway, so congratulations, Ro, on your new job, the voice stuff. And she does have a distinguished voice. Distinctive, I mean to say. Very country. But articulate. You know she's country. Ro would even agree. She grew up down south. I think she grew up, she's from Atlanta. And I know she went to, I think she went to Spelman. I don't want to say I know. Yup. And then she pledged. She's an AKA. And all like that. You could picture her being, you know, most popular, college cheerleader, blah, 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 so on and so forth, Rolanda. She seems like one of those girls who's been popular all of her life. You know. You know what I mean? Tyra Banks, I'm seeing all the commercials for the show. I got to tell you something, Tyra. I hope you deliver. Because, you know, I'm like sucking my teeth. Only because I'm a little bitter because they passed over Vanessa Williams. It was a good tease. They had me going for a moment there like, oh, Vanessa on a talk show. She's working now, I told you guys. She's got Jennifer Lopez's new show, which is coming on UPN or the WB. Late night drama, you know. Vanessa's going to be a main character. Boy, that Tyra Banks show, it seems like they are reaching. And shout out to Ananda Lewis. I think they're going to do to her what they did to you. Try to make you somebody you're not. We, John Q. Public, can see a phony from a mile away. We're going to see it immediately and turn on you like a wild dog. And it's not even going to be your fault. It's going to be the fault of, you know, the people because they don't really know what to do with us. A lot of us, meaning like black, female, talk. Or even, you know what? D.L. Hughley would probably tell you the same thing. Because originally his talk show, which is now on Comedy Central, as a matter of fact, DL's going to be on the show soon. I'm going to talk to him about this. We're going to do real talk. It's funny how his project was being pitched as a 5-day-a-week network talk show at night to fill in the blank. D.L. Hughley. Now, I don't know whether he has the personality to carry it off or the experience or whatever. I just know, I was pumping my fist for it. Only come to find out it's no longer network. It's on Comedy Central. And it's 1 day or 2 days a week. I think it's Saturday and Sunday. 3. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's not 5 network. So, you know. And a lot of times, you know, you hear, we'll see what happens. Shout out to the new boxing champ. I wasn't there to root for you, Jermaine Taylor. I was there to root for my man from Philly. What's his name? Bernard Hopkins. Hey, Bernard. But Jermaine Taylor, as we speak, is up at Sylvia's Soul Food Restaurant in Harlem eating. If you happen to be up in Harlem and you want to meet the champ, maybe go inside and order yourself a pork chop plate, and play it off. Don't forget your camera phone. Or just hover outside. Shout out to the champ. Eyes of the experience are everywhere, champ, don't you? Oh, that's Art being bitter. He claims Philly when he wants to.
He ain't no real champ.
Apparently now he's claiming. Well, he didn't win by the win-win.
He's supposed to get knocked out.
I was there. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, you agree.
You're a champ by getting knocked out and by working really hard, to get it. I mean, that was given to you. Anyway, he's up at Sylvia's Soul Food right now. Shout out to Sylvia and everybody there. Okay, you guys, the phone lines are open at 866-GET-WENDY. Advice Hour is coming up next. Keep it here.
It's Wendy, man. The Wendy Williams Experience. Everybody needs some.
Should I leave? Like, is that selfish to my son?
Come get some.
Let me tell you, Wendy, it's really a trouble with a dude.
Advice out.
I'm having a problem with my fiance and his family.
I was in a relationship with this girl for like 18 months. She told me the relationship meant nothing.
Always drama.
Call Wendy right now. 1-866-GET-WENDY. Fax Wendy at 866-WENDY-FAX.
Wendy, can you give me advice on...
It's Advice Hour here on the Wendy Williams Experience. All right, everybody, gather around. First, a comment. Dear Wendy, I VE'd myself last night, and I love it. Remember yesterday I was telling you guys that I VE'd before work. VEET. Girls, the new hair removal system that's probably been out for about 6 months now. We've been seeing the commercials, and the girl zhuzhes that thing up her legs, and it doesn't cut. It removes the hair. I love it. So this person right here, Danae, she lives in Philly. She says, Wendy, I'm a sister struggling with eczema, plus I'm one hairy broad.
Oh.
And I've had to shave under my arms every day, but Veet took it right off and hoping it lasts longer than 2 days. Okay, but here's what I hate about Veet. First of all, the 6-minute wait in the bathroom with my arms up. Ain't that much flossing or brushing or Vinoing my face in the world. It's funny, I use the Vino too. Yeah, but to me, you don't have to use it. Like, I haven't done under my arms yet, but I wouldn't walk around with my arms up. You just put your arms down and relax. She also doesn't like the smell. But overall, she loves it. She started out by saying, I love Veet. I'm never going to go back to, And then I was just reading this thing. Look at this. Wendy, I used to get a periodic Brazilian wax and on my brows. And I guess she means here in her genitals because she heard that there are two separate cases of two women getting herpes from genital waxing, ladies. I got to tell you something. To be honest with you, since the summer started, I think I've been doing at home because I heard something about this, meant to mention it to you, and I'm no longer going and squatting on the table, like a dog to a hydrant. You know how we do with our, privates.
That's the pharmacy.
Go to the pharmacy. Exactly. You get your melty stuff. I wouldn't advise Veeting the area. Girl faxed me yesterday. Do you think I could use it on my private? Hell no. But start doing that part at home. Exactly. Too many scary cases of people getting genital whatnots. And it's so private down there. Do you know? By the way, today's survey question on the WendyWilliamsExperience.com. Does being Bobby Brown damage Whitney Houston's career and reputation even further? This person has already answered, but via fax. Wendy, Whitney's career can't get damaged any further. Her career is as low as it is. She's at the bottom, so the only way she can go is up. But Wendy, do you think that Beyonce would be doing her thing if Aaliyah was still alive? Oh, yeah. 2 different lanes. I think they'd both still be doing it. You know what I mean? By the way, the results of yesterday's poll question, once a cheater, always a cheater? Well, 52% of you all said yes on the Wendy Williams Experience website, and 48% of you all said no. All right. Hello?
Wendy.
Yes.
My love, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine, my dear heart.
Oh, I'm so happy to speak to you. I'm so excited. All right, back to drama. You ready?
Okay, go ahead.
All right. 37, right? Married before, great guy, fabulous, right? Had a kid together, everything was fabulous, right? We got divorced when she's about a year old. He is a fabulous and a fantastic father. Never had to ask him for anything. He gave me everything.
Sounds good so far.
He supported his daughter. He was a fabulous father. He was a wonderful friend to me.
Okay.
Okay? Really odd, but we managed to work that through for 10 years. Okay?
You managed to work what?
We managed to work through, like, we were friends for 10 years. We were parents, we were friends, and it was wonderful.
And you were married?
No, we were divorced. We divorced when she was about 2 years old.
No, but that doesn't, how long were you actually married?
About maybe 4 or 5 years.
Okay, and then, so then it's been 15 years that you guys have been married, then divorced, and so now what are we doing today?
So now we decide, like the idiots that we are, that we were going to get back together again. Okay?
To marry or just date?
I'm sorry, what was that?
To marry or date? I don't...
No, we decided that we were going to move in together.
Okay.
We were going to buy a house together. Okay? Now, Wendy, when I tell you there is nothing wrong with... He's a great man. Okay? And I love him dearly. I am just not in love with this man. We have been living together for 9 months, and there is no intimacy between us.
Okay, so you think that when you mention this to him again and that you need him to get out of the house and go back to being friends, and now you're going to damage
everything?
Yeah, because he's going to feel like, what the F?
Well, we talked about it, and it's like, you know what, I got to go. I can't do this.
Oh, you already talked about it?
We talked about it, but I just, you know what, the guilt is killing me.
Yeah, well, what does he say? But okay, so what does he say when you talk about it?
You know, that we should try to work it out, that, you know, we bought this house and we did this, and, you know, that we love each other. We do. But
I don't mind you guys because you have history together and a child to move back in together and you know, because you can't really explain love. I just wish you hadn't bought the house together. So now, in order to make things absolutely back on an even playing field, you got to sell the house, split the proceeds, and go your separate ways and try to recapture the friendship that you once had and co-parent.
That's what I want to do, but I don't...
Okay.
Do you honestly think that's possible?
I think that the fighting could possibly be worse this time around than it was when you first got divorced.
I agree.
I wish that you hadn't purchased the house together. I wish that it was as easy as somebody just moving out. But you got to talk about this as soon as possible and try to have this resolved so that as we move into the Christmas holidays, oh yes, I said Christmas in August. That things
you, girl. It's on my mind too.
Okay, good. So then there you go. You got to have this talk about it today or tomorrow and try to get some sort of resolution so that at Christmas you can have some sort of harmonious situation for the purpose of your daughter and you all's sanity. Thank you for calling.
Thank you, Wendy. I love you.
I love you too. Bye-bye. Yeah, that's one thing to consider, you all, as you have all kinds of dust being kicked up in your house right now, whether it's in your personal relationships or dealing with whatever turmoil, the holidays are right there. And there is nothing worse than a funky New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Even if you're about to get divorced and you got to break it to your kids, don't wait another moment. Break it to them now. So by Christmas, there's some sort of, I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but at least you'll be on some sort of road to harmony. Hello?
Hi, Wendy.
Hey.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a friend who has a son, and I don't think she's even close to being the best parent she can be. She's not even trying.
What business is that of yours?
Well, she asked me to be a godmother.
Uh-oh.
Well, he's 10 now.
Oh.
She had him when she was 15.
Okay, so what happened to the godparents all along?
Well, it was never made official, but we're just like close friends, so we're around each other all the time.
Okay, she's 25.
26.
Is she 26?
Yeah.
And
he's a very bright boy, and he needs a lot of attention. He needs somebody there to encourage him, and nurture him, to, you know, make sure that he fulfills his potential, and she's not.
See, speaking as a parent, and I've never had to come up against this situation, but I could never tell another parent in my cipher that you're not taking good care of your kids.
Right.
So but if I was a godparent, a little bit closer to you than the usual, in my mind, that gives me a little bit of entitlement. But because I don't want it, I wouldn't even want the responsibility of being a godparent. Do you understand?
So you would just
I don't want
stay quiet?
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's obviously suffering?
Is he dying?
No, he's not dying.
How's he suffering?
His schoolwork, his report card could be much better. His social skills could be much better.
Recommend to her that he enrolls at the Y for Saturday activity. That'll socialize them better.
But that will require her getting up off the ass and doing something.
See, as big as my mouth is on the radio, when it comes to my personal life,
yeah.
I try my best not to make judgments and commentary to the people that I know. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have the guts to say you're not parenting correctly.
I haven't had the guts, but I feel guilty just standing by.
Are you a parent yourself?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so the first thing I would say you come to me is, what the F do you know? You have no kid. You understand?
Yeah.
So therefore, if I were you, I wouldn't even accept being the godparent. Nope. And I wouldn't tell her why, because I don't have the guts.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He's going to stay there, though.
Yeah, okay, all right. Anyway, you know what I was thinking of as I was talking to her? There has been a time when, do you remember about 6 months ago when I told you about a woman in my cipher who met a man in the parking lot while picking up her young daughter, under 5, at school? And 4 days later, I think 3 days later, they moved in together. He asked her to marry, and so they're supposed to be getting married. In the meantime, he'd been in jail for 5 years, has only been out for about a year. From down south, he moved her up. He drives her car. He has no steady work and all like that. Remember I told you that story? You know how candid I was when I told you that story? I never talked to her about it. That's how I don't even want to get in the conversation. I feel more comfortable talking to you all about it and letting her hear through the grapevine, was Wendy talking about you, or maybe she was driving in her car, she heard. Oh, by the way, the outcome of that is that I can't be specific, but he did something foul, and their relationship is over. He has now moved out of the house. It happened without incident, cops being called and all like that. Although I do suggest to her that she changes her locks, because all she did was say, give me your key back and get the F out. I told her, I said, change the locks anyway. But I don't like to make those kind of judgments. The only godparenting that I would ever accept doing would be, my brother and my sister and my friend Lisa Carnegie. If she ever asked me, I would godparent. She doesn't have any kids. Thank God, it's easy to say, Right now, she doesn't have any kids. But if she ever did have kids, no, I would godparent Lisa's kids. But that's it. You know what I mean? It is a lot of responsibility. And not only that, you got to pipe up when you see something going wrong. You got to pipe up. And I'm not piping up. I'd rather pipe up through the radio. That's the great thing about doing this job. You can pipe up over here, and then you never have to say it in your personal life. Dear Wendy, I need some of your blatant honesty and brilliant advice. Give me too much credit. First, let me say that I enjoy listening to your show religiously every day, and when I'm not at work, even when I'm not at work, I love you, Wendy. Well, getting to the problem, I need your assistance. I'm a woman of a certain age, 42. I'm recently divorced after 23 years of marriage. Wendy, I have 2 grown children, and they both live over 3 hours away from me. I'm becoming lonely. I'm trying to get back into the dating swing of things. Now, I've been out on a few dates with men my own age. Remember, she's 42. But Wendy, oh gosh, they bore the hell out of me. Wendy, I'm in my sexual peak. Mama is in heat. I want a man who's younger than me. I'm talking about 10 to 15 years younger than me. As I mentioned before, I'm a woman of a certain age, 42, but I don't look it. I look at least 9 years younger than I really am. But I really need some tips as to how to go about pursuing a younger man. I'm a flirt. I have some skills with men my age and older, but I never dated a younger man. How should I approach them? Should I be aggressive or be myself? Basically, I want to know how to talk to a younger man. Mother has lived, and now I'm looking for something young and tender. Oh, she's mother. Well, mother has lived too, meaning me. I'm going to tell you exactly where all the candy is, and then you just got to perfect your approach. Honey, enroll in a course at a college campus. The world is your oyster. Do you want a dummy? Potentially at a community college. And I'm not saying everybody that goes to community college is dumb, but I'm just saying right there, you could either be with the next, biggie, in terms of academically and then going on, or you can be with somebody who's going to drop out, live off you, content of character, personally speaking. I know if I was in this position, I know exactly where I'd enroll in school, too. Funny. I'd enroll at Columbia. because I want him to be smart and ambitious, and hopefully 4 years, even though I'm in a night course or, just brushing up. And because of my work hours, I would enroll in regular college hours. Just a course, every weekday morning at 10:35.
You ain't got to enroll. Just go to the library.
No. I want it all because I'm 42. My kids are grown. They live 3 hours away. I can experience and luxuriate over the whole campus tapestry. 10:35 a.m. I'm in my course. Lunchtime at the library. And then, you see what I'm saying? And how about a gym near the campus? Just whatever you do, stay away from the nightclubs. Honey, the boys are everywhere, but try college campuses. Good luck. Oh, and be yourself. Be yourself.
It's Wendy, man.
You can go on the stand fees, but the point is keep your mouth shut. Anybody from the streets knows that. Never talk on nobody.
The Wendy Williams Experience.
The mic pot fell all the way through. Never you mind your little Greek head about that. No. Show must go on. And there are extra mics here in the studio. Shout out to Allison Williams. Allison, I haven't had a chance. Turn on my mic.
It's on.
I'm not hearing it correctly in my headphones. No, I'm still talking out of the old one, Art.
Talk that one.
Check 1, 2. This is the one that's still on is the old one.
They're all
okay, well then this one right here does not work. It does not work. It's this one. Besides, Jim, if I use a whole nother microphone, then the processing is not on all the microphones to make my voice sound big and booming, is it? We don't have processing on every microphone. Turn the music off and let's see if I sound yet like the old CBS FM. Yeah, baby. 1, 2, 1, 2. Boy, I love that big voice. That top 40 radio. They do that big voice, Jim. What does that cost extra money to get it on the radio, on the microphone or something? Or we're just not going for that here with today's R&B and classic soul. Anyway, my microphone works. Hold on a moment because we're in the middle of a break, Jim. Thanks. All right, so shout out, like I was saying, to Allison Williams, the legendary vocal great. Well, she's apparently been filling in all week here on the WBLS Morning Show. And I ran into Allison yesterday at Houston's on Park Avenue. And she was saying that, she loves the show. And that she's going to be using, how you doing and stuff like that, throughout her week here. I was very flattered. Just call my name. It's nice to have you here, Allison. Allison Williams. Check her out tomorrow morning. And I guess for the rest of the week. Oh, you know what? And shout out to everybody in Brownsville. Do you remember last year near the Riverdale projects, I participated in Brownsville Day, just celebrating the hood. You know what I mean? We had some barbecue going on out there and everything. The kids were playing. We had a great time. Me and, my son, my husband, we were all out there. He's from Brownsville, So, we do Brownsville Day. Shout out to Biz. Shout out to all the political officials in Brooklyn, particularly the ones who service the Brownsville area. Thank you for, helping us out with that last year. We're going to do it again, everybody, this year. Shout out to the whole community of Brownsville, particularly, like I said, everybody who lives near the Riverdale projects. Brownsville Day is going to be on August 21st. Shout out to Question Mark Entertainment and MOR Entertainment. Both factions are from the Ville. And so I'll see you over there. More details to come, but, we love doing in the community, WBLS and, whatnot. So I'll see you on August 21st. I'll be over there for Brownsville Day. It's going to be a lot of fun. It was last year. Kids all playing and stuff. It's time to talk about LA weight loss. Yeah, you know what? Probably the easiest weight loss program to follow is LA Weight Loss. I'll tell you why. It's real food for real people. It's not carrying around scales and taking a bunch of pills and mixing liquids and trying to get it on that way. It's real food for real people. 1-800-448-TRIM, 1-800-448-TRIM. It's not prepackaged. You go to the grocery store, so you pick up some food. What would you like to have to eat tonight? No food group is off limits. They just teach you how to take what you love to do and tweak it, because it's not about temporary weight loss. Yes, I lost 15 pounds on LA weight loss. I would say it took me about 3 months, maybe a few weeks less. You know, it happened over a year ago. I've kept the weight off, and I've incorporated the LA weight loss lifestyle into my everyday life like a breeze. You know, like I haven't gained the weight back. I haven't seen my weight loss counselor in a moment because I haven't been on. I've just, been maintaining. But shout out to Diane. Diane, the weight is still off. You'll have a weight loss counselor too, you guys. I mean, with weight loss programs, not doing their job, you take too many pills, or you have to go to the gym, or they file for bankruptcy. Let me tell you something. LA Weight Loss has been around standing strong since 1986. Millions of people have lost millions of pounds, and I am here to tell you, I am one of the many. So 1-800-448-TRIM. You can tell them Wendy sent you. This is my LA Weight Loss connection number for you. 1-800-448-TRIM. It's LA Weight Loss. You still have time to lose weight before Indian summer, so you'll still look great in your summer clothes. But the fall magazine fashion trends are in, and imagine how much better you'd look if you lost 10, 20, 50 pounds. I'm not saying it's not going to require any work. All I'm saying is that if you want a weight loss program that fits into your lifestyle, and you're a foodie like me, like you love food, you don't know what you do, how you'd manage, you've been looking for a way, suffer no more. 1-800-448-TRIM. It's LA Weight Loss. WBLS Hummer is going to be marking the spot on Friday at 11 p.m. 11 o'clock at night. They're going to be over at the Flatiron Loft on 28 West 20th Street between 5th and 6th. It's a party at the Flatiron Loft on Friday. The BLS Hummer will be there. You can enter to win some great prizes courtesy of Dub Magazine, Budweiser Beer, and Bud Light. You can also find out more details about the Jam Van and where we all are and stuff. Go to WPLS.com. Okay. So Champagne is up in for Vaughn Harper at 7 o'clock. We're still in the midst of Advice Hour. Coming up in the next break of Advice Hour, I got to address this 24-year-old girl who's supposed to be in her friend's wedding, her closest friend, but last night was the rehearsal dinner, and wait until I tell you the rest of the story. Then, this guy is 32 years old. He's been married for 4 years to the love of his life. They have 2 beautiful kids. But last night, when he got home from work, he found his kids sleeping and his wife sitting on the bed crying. The rest of the drama will unfold next, because it's Advice Hour for the Wendy Williams Experience right here on 107.5 WBLS.
What's up? This is John Leguizamo. Listen to Wendy Williams Experience on 107.5 WBLS. Warmth, beauty, love, and sensitivity.
This is exclusively on Wendy Williams.
Wendy got the heat. What's up? This is Tawanda Braxton, and you're listening to the Wendy Williams Experience on 107.5 WBLS.
It's Advice Hour here on the Wendy Williams Experience. And I see Kamora Lee Simmons, who happens to be a celebrity newsmaker today here on the show, is thinking very heavily about adopting a baby. That's nice. She already has 2 little girls with Russell. And that's nice. She certainly has the room in her house and the money in her pocket. Why not? Congratulations, Kamora. Okay. Dear Wendy, my name is John, and I really need your advice. I'm 32 years old, and I've been married to my wife for 4 years. She's the love of my life, and we have 2 beautiful children together, a 2-year-old and a 1-month-old. Well, last night, now keep in mind the 1-month-old, because it's going to start to make a little bit of sense to you as I read this. Last night, when I got home from work, I found my kids sleeping and my wife sitting on the side of the bed crying. My first thought is that someone had died. Now, see, only a man with a 1-month-old would think that the wife is crying because someone died, as opposed to maybe postpartum. Maybe she has a 1-month-old. Maybe Tom Cruise. Hello. But as I approached her, she told me to sit down because she had something to tell me. Well, Wendy, when I sat down, she told me that she had cheated on me at the time that she got pregnant with our 1-month-old son and didn't know if I am the father.
Slut.
So, she had a paternity test.
Uh-oh.
And it proved
easy
that the man that she was cheating with is the father.
Slut.
Wendy, I'm devastated by this news. Although I love my wife, I don't know what to do about the situation. She said that the guy wants to be a part of the baby's life. And then she's going to let him. I asked her when was the last time they had sex.
Oh, easy.
And she said they stopped having sex about 4 months ago. Oh, God, the baby's only a month old. That means she was...
What that mean?
That means that she was having sex with him all the way up until, through the pregnancy. Wendy, my question to you is, what should I do? Well, since you're asking me... My answer is I'm bailing so fast. I am not going to sit around while I raise the next man's child. Yes, he wants to be involved, but the child is living in our house, soaking up my air conditioning on a 102-degree day. Then I'll fall in love with the boy and be forced to share, college expenses with the... hell no, Trick. Is how I'd address you. I wouldn't be able to hold my tongue. You'd be every tramp whore, whatever. And you know what? And it's nasty that men do that too. And they have kids outside of the relationship, outside of the marriage or whatever. And that sometimes there are some women who can forgive that. But that's because the jump off child is living over there with the jump off bitch.
Oh yeah.
It is hell no. Divorce, bail, John, you're free. Let's continue with the same. With this, we still got advice going on. Okay, dear Wendy. Oh hell no, John. Definitely divorce. Divorce. Dear Wendy, my name is Lisa, and I'm only 24 years old. I am about to be in my friend's wedding this weekend, and this girl is one of my closest friends. I have known both her and her fiance all through school, and we were roommates in college, and she and her fiance have been together for 8 years. They have no kids together. Wendy, last night was the rehearsal dinner for the wedding, and it was lovely until I went to the bathroom and discovered my friend's soon-to-be husband having sex with her supposed lesbian bridesmaid to be and cousin. Oh, and she names the cousin. Yeah, and cousin. So, okay, it's lesbian bridesmaid to be and cousin. So one person, 3 titles. Yes.
Wow.
I peeked in the closet and I saw her bent over and he was hitting it doggy style.
Oh, yeah.
They must have been in the closet, like in the bathroom at the rehearsal dinner.
Whoa.
Wendy, I went to the bathroom and rushed back downstairs. The closet must not have been in the bathroom. It must have been like in a house, in a bedroom, whatever. Rushed back downstairs. Wendy, I could not believe my eyes, and I was so distraught for the rest of the night. I feel so bad for my friend. She's so in love with her fiance, and he's having an affair with her cousin, who's one of the bridesmaids, and a posing lesbian who's really hetero, or at least bi. Wendy, I don't know what to do. As I mentioned before, she's one of my best friends, and I hate to see her hurt. Yada, 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 so on and so forth. Yada, yada, yada. Ooh! What do? You want to know what? I side with the wife, and she's only 72 hours away from being the wife. This weekend, I get married. And normally I do say stay out of grown people's business.
Yeah.
But when you say one of my closest friends, I think about my girlfriend, Lisa Carnegie, and what I tell Lisa... I'm going to tell her you did that, Art.
I'm only playing. She knows me.
What I tell, and hell yeah, I would tell Lisa. Hell yeah. And you know what? And I don't care if I've known him as long as I've known her. She is my girl, and she's about to be the wife this coming weekend. And you know what? And her cousin, it would make me want to be a stronger friend to her because now she's about to lose the relationship of a cousin who apparently she was close with the cousin, which is why the cousin's the maid of honor. Oh, well, I'm no longer friends with my girl cousin, and I'm no longer... No. I tell. And she's not going to believe you, but you want to know what? At the very least, I'd prepare for Lisa to curse me out and tell me she doesn't want to be my friend. In which case, oh, well, you know what? I will be here when the next shoe drops off and when she really realizes it. I realize that she's blind in love. I would tell my friend Lisa and be prepared for whatever. Her to slap me, tell me I'm jealous, or her to understand what I'm saying, call the whole thing off. Now I got to pay for a vacation for 2 to Jamaica because, you got to do something nice for your girl when you realize that she's... You understand what I'm saying? Help her salvage this party, this wedding that's supposed to be on the weekend. I'd be her rock. But you got to tell. You got to tell as soon as I close the mic, which is in approximately 60 seconds. And don't do it over the telephone. Listen to this. Dear Wendy, my sister's getting married for the second time at the Justice of the Peace, and she does not intend on having a... Damn! All right, he's putting up the 10-second sign. I'm going to finish this one next hour where we talk about the celebrities. All right, gossip through the hour of truth. It's coming up at the top of the hour right here. Keep it where you got it. Thanks.
Wendy, man.
I met up with this guy. We were together. We were at his house, and why do you think his thing wouldn't work? You think maybe he's...
How you doing? The Wendy Williams. Yo, did you catch this flashback?
I was thinking pearls would be the next big thing for men. You got the pink shirts, right? You throw some ice on a gangster medallion and put it on a string of 36-inch pearls.
Well, Andre 3000 wears them on his wrist.
Well, I know he does, but I'm talking about just throw them on the neck, and they come in pink, they come in blue, they come in white. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nice pearl necklace for all you gay rappers.
How you doing? This it right here. Miss a day, miss a whole lot. Coming through your speakers, boy. It's Wendy, man.
How you doing? Yeah, Wendy, I, like you, saw a Gang of Roses with Little Kim and them. But I missed the last 20 minutes. If given a chance, I would watch it in its entirety. And yeah, I think it's unrealistic. Excuse me. Oh, on to the Whitney Houston thing you're talking about. The question that this woman has, Jacqueline, is why does the entire Being Bobby Brown show revolve around his story and no one, his family, and no one from Whitney's family's in it? Well, first of all, like you said in your facts, the show's called Being Bobby Brown. Second of all, you'd have to find somebody in Whitney's family willing to be a part of it. We don't know her whole family, but we got a little insight on her brother Gary by virtue of his ex-wife Monique being here yesterday. He's not trying to be on the show. Michael, Sissy probably damns the day that Bobby and Whitney agreed to do the show. She's probably thoroughly embarrassed. And Dionne Warwick, what? You could put that player back there. She's not trying to be on the show. I don't even care. I mean, it's great just seeing who they see, who we see on the show. I love it. Wendy, yes, I saw Gang of Roses. If you're just turning on your radio, I happen to have seen this over the weekend. And by the way, if I happen to be talking a little bit faster today or something like that, no, it's not because I'm dipping in and out of the bathroom, as the facts earlier suggested. Wendy, exactly. People so sensitive. Somebody said, you sound like you're getting high again. You're in and out of the bathroom. Yeah, like a person just can't be in a zone or something like that, Whatever, I understand. Anyway, but back to Stacia. She says that she saw a Gang of Roses. It was very unrealistic, she says. It was like a female posse. It showed a different side of Little Kim that I've never seen. I liked it. For once, she wasn't acting like a hoe. It was a sort of parody of a Western. And Bobby Brown's character was unforgettable, even though I am addicted to Being Bobby Brown. Yeah, thanks, Stacia. So I see that Jamie Lynn Spears is now a smoker. Britney's younger sister, who's 14. They're laying by the pool, and, people were saying in Us Weekly magazine that Jamie Lynn was spotted smoking by the pool. Mm-hmm. Speaking of smoking, so Beyonce spent a recent evening, they say, learning how to smoke, even though she insists that she has no intent on picking up, smoking. Nor does she smoke now. She was recently spotted at Jay-Z's 40/40 Club holding a cigarette. When somebody asked her what she was doing with the cigarette, she replied that she just wanted to see how it was done. That's usually after a non-smoker has had about 25 drinks too many or something, where they, that's the first thing. You pick it up and see how it feels between your fingers. You roll it around. You know what I'm saying? You bring it to your lips, but you don't touch. And next thing you know, you're smoking. And no new information on Missy Elliott and her Chrysler ad, because I was waiting to see how long her deal was with Chrysler and perhaps the money. Now, Celine Dion signed on a couple of years ago to be part of Chrysler's ads. She was actually in the commercial as well as the voiceover. Missy so far is only the voiceover, but they're considering maybe putting her in a commercial or two. So Celine's contract was for 3 years for $14 million. A year after signing it, they dropped her because there was no turnover in revenue because of Celine Dion speaking for them. So, they dropped her. And congratulations to friend of the show, Warren G. He's from the LBC. And August 16th, the mayor of the LBC is proclaiming that is Warren G Week. There's a range of activities, including concerts that are going to take place celebrating Warren G Week beginning August 16th out in the Long Beach, California town. By the way, you guys, I know it was about 3 weeks ago since I did the interview with Nicole, the pre-op transsexual from Chicago, where she was talking about not wanting to cut her penis off to meet the demands of her R&B C-list singer lover for the past 5 years. And so I told Nicole she needs to bail on the whole thing. From what I understand, Chicago, everything is on fire with this story. And oddly enough, R. Kelly, whose name wasn't even mentioned in the story, because remember, everything was blinded. R. Kelly's mad at me for one reason or another, as long as I'm talking about Chicago. What are you mad about, Kels? I love you, baby. That music I'm talking about. But I have the ability to look with the split. Can you look at him yet with the split thinking? Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, you have to. Mm-hmm. But shout out to Nicole, the pre-op transsexual. How are things going with you? Nicole, do you have her telephone numbers?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Can you call her and leave her a message from the show?
Okay.
And ask her how she's doing, if there are any new developments, because it's been about 3 weeks since we talked to her. I just want to find out whether everything's been successful. Maybe we can chat with her.
Okay, no problem.
Again. In the next 48, 72 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't be mad at me. Shout out to everybody in Chi-Town. Perhaps one day we'll be able to do more than just the internet friends in heads. Maybe one day I'll be on the air actually in Chicago at a radio station. Let me get back to this though. This is a leftover from Advice Hour, and then we're going to go into, talking about Shaquille O'Neal, Katie Holmes. Yeah, guess what? Dawson's Creek has this assistant producer who's speaking out publicly for the first time regarding the relationship with Tom and Katie. And I'll just start by saying it's not showing any validity. This person is saying there's no validity to their relationship, Tom and Katie's. All right, we'll talk about that in a few moments, too. Plus, Destiny's Child just bowed out of a big moneymaker for them. We'll talk about Aniston, Bow Wow, Bobby Brown, The Game, Mike Jones, Public Enemy. So keep it here. Dear Wendy, this is leftover, like I said, from Advice Hour. My sister is getting married for the second time at the Justice of the Peace, and she does not intend on having a reception or any other celebration. So I've planned on throwing her a bachelorette party to celebrate her marriage. I've arranged for a surprise party in her honor with my friends / coworkers, during which we will luxuriate over drinks and presents and then go to the strip club for the real party. We'll go there by limousine, of course. Here's my problem, Wendy. She is a woman of a certain age, and I'm sure she wants to be fabulous at her own party. When do I tell her my plans? I can't imagine her just showing up, us saying surprise, the stunned look on her face, and she might not have the look that she wants to have going out for the night on the town. Please advise how much notice you give a diva that she's about to be surprised. I gotta tell you something. And she says, I'm signed, the little sister. I gotta tell you something, little sister. This doesn't go for all, but since you're asking me, if you're trying to surprise a woman of a certain age, as you just said, second marriage, justice of the peace, and no reception being planned, sounds to me like a woman who doesn't want the pomp and circumstance. A woman of a certain age, if she wants a girl's night out, she could damn well. Are you sure she likes strippers? Here's why I ask. Because if you were to surprise me with this, I'd be absolutely thoroughly through. I would prefer, no lie, I would prefer anything but let's go out for dinner at a great place and, sit all night and talk. Maybe if you have reservations for dessert at the next place or something like that. If I wanted to go out, if I wanted to have a bachelorette party, then that would mean that I like celebration. If I like celebration, I'd be getting married with the big, or at least a little celebration of my wedding.
Yeah.
I don't know, little sister, that you need to go through with this. If you want to take your hot in the pants self out to a strip club and you're just looking for a reason to go, then, plan it. Go ahead. And I also noticed in your facts that you said that you're arranging this party in her honor with her friends and her coworkers. Friends, one thing. Coworkers, a whole nother. Shout out to all my coworkers. I love you during work hours. But after work hours, see ya. I would crucify my little sister, and I don't have one. I walk into a party, I walk in. First of all, there's strippers. Is that Janine from the next cubicle? Oh, what is this bitch doing up in my celebration? Who organized this crap? You, Solange? The little sister. What makes you think that I want to associate with Cynthia, Rolanda, Janine, and Donna, the bitches from my office, like this, and the strippers? Can you tell them to put something? Yeah, I mean, unless you know what I don't know, and that is that your big sister loves strippers, and she loves the girls in her office like that. Hell, there's some guys who probably even have the same kind of spastic effect. Like, work is work, little sister. And socializing is socializing. And a bachelorette party, that's to the next level. And a limo she mentioned, you know what that means. Drinking and chiefing in the back seat. Now the coworkers know you got dirty urine and please. I mean, no, laugh now, but think about it. If this woman of a certain age who's getting married for the second time really loves all that pomp and circumstance, then she might not be getting married to the justice of the peace. She might have wanted to have a regular ceremony. Or at the very least, a reception after, but she's not having that either. What makes you, little sister, don't stop being the little sister. You're all up in the Kool-Aid and don't know the flavor. Sit your behind down.
Put that where? Back there.
Go to your big sister and ask her, would you like to celebrate? If so, how? Who would you like for me to invite? I'll pull the whole thing together. That's all. You do all the legwork. You make all the calls and reservations and stuff, but ask her. Ask her from top to bottom. Don't tell her you already have this planned either. Damn little sisters. Let's celebrate. Shaquille O'Neal and the Miami Heat earlier today agreed on a $100 million 5-year contract.
Wow.
Yeah. How's that? Is that okay?
What? Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. He's just set up nice. One that presumably will keep him playing past his 38th birthday. Just about then he'll be ready to retire, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's playing like Karl Malone anymore up into the 50s and 80s. Is Karl Malone still playing?
No, he's
okay, good. How old was he when he finally retired? 47?
No, he's about like 40, 39.
Yeah.
He wasn't that old.
I seem to remember the big tease that he was older than the rest.
He was older than the rest of the Lakers because they were all young.
Yes, it's okay. But he wasn't the oldest one in the NBA at the time he retired.
One of them.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, see? Mm-hmm. Nice, Shaq. Nice going. By the way, shout out to everybody in Philly. Is there any new word on the pregnant woman? Art, do you know anything about this? The pregnant woman who's been missing for like 6 weeks. And at first it was just a story locally in Philly, but it's starting to gain some national attention. And people seem, she's an African-American woman, a black woman. And people seem to be feeling like if this was a white woman from the main line of Philly, that's where, the tax dollars are big, this would have already been national news. Shout out to my girl, Golden Girl. We work together at Power 99 in Philly. Golden Girl, do you know any more to this story? I know that you've been involved. Any more to the story? So, there was a conversation over the telephone, and supposedly the person being talked to was the assistant producer. I didn't say the former, yes, I am saying former assistant producer for Dawson's Creek. That's the show that stars, or used to star, that stars. That show's still on TV, right?
I believe so.
Dawson's Creek. It's in syndication. So everything about that show was former, huh? Anyway, I'll tell you what she says about Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes, and their romance. Plus, I'll talk about Destiny's Child, Soleil Moon Frye, and Jimi Hendrix, too. Keep it here. It's the Wendy Experience, y'all.
It's Wendy, man.
I just found out this morning that my supervisor's pregnant.
Damn you, I told you not to do it.
Should I tell my wife what's up?
Plan on a divorce. And as for your job,
Put that where? Back there.
The Wendy Williams Experience.
Oh, 107.5 WBLS. Today's R&B and classics all in the Wendy Williams Experience. Good afternoon, friends. Thank you so much for being here. It's Tuesday. Yes, we are making our way through the summer. Tomorrow's the Wendy Williams Comedy Experience. Wednesday, every Wednesday, the Laugh Factory. It's been going on now for easily a year. You can come and join us. The doors open up at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Every Wednesday night, as a matter of fact. And the comedy starts about 9 o'clock. And it's just plain old, good old-fashioned fun. The comedy, Times Square, convenient to your hours, of work. Maybe, you want to come by, bring your office or something like that. Doors open up at 8, like I said, and the comedy starts at 9 o'clock. A lot of people do that. I know last week Stevie B was there with his whole Verizon crew, and he came over to me prior and let me know that they were there. I got on stage, Verizon, and they were like, yeah, good. Art is a budding comedian. Art, a little bit. You don't have to be shy about it. A little bit. You're funny, Art.
I'm not a comedian. I just talk a lot of mess.
Well, that's what comedians do, except they want to give it a title. Okay. There really is no title. Yeah. It's just, but
I'll keep my day job.
Keep your day job, but there's nothing wrong with moonlighting. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. You do a pretty good job. Art opens up the whole show, so, you got to get there at least by 9 o'clock. Art comes out, opens up the whole show, and then he introduces me. I introduce Capone. Capone introduces a slew of comedians, and that's how we get it on. So every Wednesday night. And shout out to everybody over in Newark, too. Don't forget, NJ Pack is lit on fire. This is not the original date that I had, Art. I don't even want to say it. That it's 5 days later.
Oh, that's the one I was given. So give the one you have then.
Oh, well, I have to tell you, all of a sudden I'm confused. Shout out to somebody back there in traffic at WBLS. What date is Steve Harvey at NJ Pack? I don't even want to say the date. I could say go to the Pack website and find out, but Art has the 5th. I have a feeling it's Saturday the 10th. That's what I was saying yesterday. Saturday the 10th. September 10th. Thank you. That's a Tim Ralph account, apparently. Tim is just back from his big sister Cheryl Lee Ralph's wedding, where a woman passed out, and Tim and, insulin, sugar. Yeah. Tim's father and Cheryl Lee's father, along with Tim, had to, catch this woman. Because Cheryl Lee Ralph, she wasn't having anybody take any spotlight from her day. Insulin be damned. She married the senator. All right, so thanks, Tim, for that. Saturday, September 10th, NJ Pack, Steve Harvey, and some more. The King of Comedy and the Queen of Comedy. How can you go wrong with that lineup in New Jersey at NJ Pack? It's a great night. Shout out to everybody listening over in Union, New Jersey. And there's the Foot Locker. Shout out to the Wendy's over there. Shout out to John and Ali. Zhuzhing things up on the automobile tip at Beyond Image. In Union. That's where it all goes down. Shout out to everyone in Irvington. I was over at Monty's last night for dinner, and I understand Irvington is gearing up for this great concert, which is happening this coming Saturday. Everybody's going to be there. The Whispers, Regina Belle, and more. Irvington is the place to be on Saturday because it's the Summer in the Zone concert in Irvington Park. This Saturday, August 6th. A whole day of fun for you and your family. The gates open up at 12 noon. So, like I said, Regina Belle, The Whispers, and many more. To find out the full schedule of events, I don't know. Maybe you can go to our website. Maybe it's listed because we are celebrating the 107 days of summer with the entire New Jersey. Everywhere, really. But right now I'm talking about Irvington, New Jersey. So go to our website, maybe, WBLS.com. If you don't see anything, then call up the Irvington Chamber of Commerce. Call the mayor's office. Call Mayor Smith. Tell him I said to call. Let's jam up his switchboard. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's keep it moving. All right. It's 107.5 WBLS. I'm so mad. I got a polish change yesterday. And recently I've been bringing my own polishes because I love the Lippmann collection. Do you like them? That is, one of the only polishes that I feel as though is worth a few extra dollars. Lippmann. Girls, have you ever used them? So I got a perfectly good day stripper color yesterday and decided to, in between songs playing, since the last time we talked to you, I put this color called No More Drama, the Mary J. Blige color. And now, because Mary's color is, very fall, all of a sudden I've ruined a perfectly good August manicure for something drab and a little bit brown. Like, I'll take it in October, but not now. Anyway, enough with that project. Shout out to Marisol. She's working at Life and Style magazine. So she sends word that Kim Porter just got Puffy some new dogs. 2 rust color standard poodle puppies. $1,500 a piece. And she purchased them for him from an East Hampton, Long Island dog groomer. That's nice that she can find something to do with the money that he gives her. Anyway, the former assistant producer of Dawson's Creek says this about Katie and Tom. First of all, her name is Beatrice Drennan, and she sees no validity in the Tom Cruise-Katie Holmes romance. Here's the quote. Tom is as A-list as they come, and he knows the responsibility of being someone on the A-list, so I can't comprehend the erratic behavior. I completely question the validity of his romance with Katie Holmes. Katie is being duped. I think she's sincerely in love with Tom because she always talked about him during our 6 seasons together on Dawson's Creek. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Tom Cruise is going through some type of anxiety attack, and it's being played out in the public eye. Katie is some pawn in his little scheme, but I don't understand why there is a need to stage a romance when Tom is loved by all. Poor Katie will be heartbroken when it comes to a screeching halt. Beatrice Drennan, who is this former assistant producer at Dawson's Creek, is currently supervising the new Jason Lee series, My Name is Earl, on NBC. Wow. Somebody from the inside, speaking out. In the meantime, Destiny's Child. Why are people buzzing now that they don't really mean to call it quit, that they were trying to do that to be assured that all the coliseums and stadiums were sold out during the tour, which would make perfect sense. I hear they did a great job all across so far what they've done. It's a great job. And when they sing Soldier, and Beyonce goes, boys up top, in the BK or whatever, she throws the diamond up and the crowd goes, wow. She claiming him, yo. She claiming him. Anyway, there's a DVD that supposedly was intended to come out featuring Destiny's Child that apparently they've backed out of it. So here's what Kelly says regarding it. We've got a DVD planned. It was actually recorded July 15th at our Atlanta show, and we're going to do a greatest hits album. We're definitely going to record another song for our greatest hits album. We're still thinking about it because we want it to mean something. But the word now is that quite possibly, well, we'll have to see what happens. I think that they will come out with the DVD. I think they're, once again, trying to get attention, which it works. It works. They really don't have to go through all this to get attention from us, I don't think. Remember I was telling you that there was this guy who used to be a boyfriend of Jennifer Aniston. His name is Michael Baroni, and he's a lawyer out in California. And he was cheesy enough to take all the love letters from her, from their relationship that happened long before she was Jennifer Aniston on Friends. And he was going to sell the love letters on eBay. Some of the things were like makeshift birthday cards. Others were like little love letters written to him on pieces of toilet paper. And some, the standard love letters written on, I guess, perfume-scented paper. Well, he put them up on eBay. Originally, it was all set for the auction to begin this coming Friday. But, alas, he's canceled the auction. So if you were planning on going on there and buying a little something, forget about it. And Bow Wow is not planning on doing a sequel to Like Mike. I didn't even think that movie was hit enough to even consider a sequel. Did you? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Was it sequel worthy?
No, really.
All right, good. Well, then Bow Wow's doing what we all want him to do. Put that player back there. He's busy with other stuff anyway. But they do say that he's currently in Vancouver shooting a film starring somebody who was in Big Mama's house. Jay Show Washington. Do you know that name? And also Cal of Kenan and Kel. The three of them are up in Vancouver right now shooting something. Yeah. Turn this up. What? How you doing? All right.
Thank you, Miss Wendy. Hey, girl. Gotta go.
Shout out to the kids. Dear Wendy, the Being Bobby Brown show only confirms what people were thinking about Whitney anyway. It's sad to watch certain parts of the show where she and Bobby are acting like they have mental issues, but it's also funny as hell. I can't stop watching. I TiVo it every week so I don't miss a thing. Well, thank you very much. So this person, I guess, would be saying, no, this show does not damage Whitney's reputation anymore because it was already so damaged. The only way it can go at this point is up. That leads me to remind you all of what today's people poll question on the Wendy Williams Experience website is. Yesterday's was, do you believe once a cheater, always a cheater? 52% of the audience said yes. 48% of the audience said no. There is no gray area when you're answering questions on the website. It's either yes or no. I gotta remove this nail polish. I'm sorry. I can't even. You know how sometimes like a stupid thing like nail polish just, I'm being infuriated as I'm looking down at my No More Drama nails. I mean, there's one thing in No More Drama, but boy, oh boy, this nail color is just so vanilla. I've never been able to really get into the shades of brown anyway. I always think they're like kind of boring. I like to zhuzh it up even during the winter. I got my nail polish remover. I got a whole beauty kit here in the studio. I'll be doing this throughout the show. Here's today's people poll question. Does the show Being Bobby Brown damage Whitney's career and reputation even further? Let's just take a yes-no poll here in the studio. All right, 5 people in the studio. I say no. It doesn't damage it any further because, in my opinion, hold on, I dropped my remover. In my opinion, it couldn't go down any lower. You know what I mean? Everything that they're doing on that show, I already had pictured in my mind. If anything, I'm surprised that they didn't try to whitewash it a little bit, but I'm glad that they didn't because it's real. So does it damage it any further? Raise your hand if it's yes. Art, are you raising your hands because I have 10, 9, 8 seconds left?
Yes.
Or do you believe it damages it any further?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, 3 people say yes and 2 say no. That's me and Art are the 2. All right, you guys keep it here. Thanks.
Wendy, man.
I am looking for a type of job in which I can teach females how to give good professionals. I'm very interested in that. I'm very good at it.
The
You're in a privileged position to learn a thing or two. Keep your mouth shut and your eyes open.
Wendy Williams.
Yeah, this is Ghostface.
What up, what up? Holla at your boys, Jay-Z.
Hey, yo, this is Busta Rhymes.
The Wendy Williams Experience.
Mr. Engineer, please, some music. Would you give us a record, por favor?
Wendy Williams is on the radio, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. So, about the game. Well, the word is that he was due to attend a party for a clothing manufacturer at a club in London. The clothing project's name is Project NYC, as a matter of fact. And the club in question in London is called Attica, and it was supposed to be on Saturday. But when Attica owners got wind of Game's reputation, now this is over in London where, you know, while they're the most vicious gossips that I know, sometimes when it comes to American stuff, they might be just a couple of paces behind us in terms of, you know, the club owner, for instance, wasn't aware of Game's reputation. When he found out about it, he all of a sudden got cold feet about wanting to have Game up in his club. But a guy named Simon Webb, who happens to be, I guess, the club's owner or whatever, was hanging out with the Game and then called the party promoters to ask if he could bring, well, excuse me, he wasn't the owner, but just a guy, a blues guy, was hanging out with Game and called the party promoters and asked if he could bring, you know, somebody special along to the party. And he was told that it would be fine. When the Attica owners found out that somebody that he wanted to bring along was Game, they were like, oh, hell no. So I don't know whether he got in the club or not, but I'm just passing along information, you know, information going on out there in the atmosphere. Mike Jones is about to drop his third full-length album. It's going to be called American Dreams, and he says it'll be out by the end of the year. And Public Enemies, they've got their greatest hits compilation, Power to the People and The Beat, Public Enemies' greatest hits. It's going to be in stores as of today.
Chuck D turned 45 yesterday, too.
What?
Chuck D turned 45 yesterday, too.
Did he?
Yeah.
All right, well, happy birthday, Chuck D. Hey, Flav. Hey, Professor Griff. Hey, all you all. Fight the power. Their new DVD is in stores today. That's for those of you who just, you know, missed the way it was. So Raven Simone, everyone, is saying that, look, you know, as long as we're talking about CDs, she's saying, listen, you know, yeah, she's got a hit show on the Disney Channel, but she admits that her album failed. She says, the songs were hit songs. I know this is weird, but they weren't Raven Simone songs. They were more like Raven Baxter songs. Raven Baxter's her character on That's So Raven. Oh, Zoe, you know?
Yeah.
Turn down the music.
Uh-oh.
Zoe, you picked up a Raven Simone CD?
No, I didn't buy this.
Oh, you heard some of the music?
Yeah, they played on the Disney Channel. They played like...
You watch the Disney Channel?
Oh, boy, this is why she's still a virgin.
Oh.
All right, let's get to the bottom of this. Okay, how often do you watch that Disney Channel?
Well, I have younger siblings.
Oh.
I have to like have something that's well. I mean, I don't live with them.
Oh, okay.
You know, I have to have something, and that's a show that me and my sister watch.
That's So Raven.
Yeah.
Okay. How old is your sister?
She's 8.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, Zoe. Yeah. Yes. That's like me knowing all the words to Kim Possible, Jimmy Neutron, and all the plots. You know, yeah.
Something to try to
communicate with them about, rather than who's going to replace AJ and Free. There are a lot of 8-year-olds who are concerned with that.
Well, she don't need to be concerned with that.
Exactly. Thank you. Okay, good, Zoe. Good. So anyway, that's what she said. And Michael Jackson's greatest hit CD, I forgot what it was called, but he sold 8,000 copies in his first week, which for Michael's standards is a brick. Damn, Michael. Well, I think I did better than you. My first week. Here's what it's called. It's called Essentials. Essential. Art, did you buy this?
I got it for free.
So you knew that this was out?
Yeah.
You're a big Michael Jackson fan. Do the fans know that this was out?
I'm sure they do. The true hardcore ones do. But he's had so many greatest hits come out as the same records. Same songs over and over again.
Is 8,000... That's a brick for Michael Jackson with the Essential.
But it's the best of song. It's the best of. Everybody has those records anyway.
Oh.
Not like it's new material.
All right, calm down. Nobody called you dark-skinned. You just calm down. I know how sensitive you get to that. Anyway, Oprah is getting ready to do Toni Morrison's 1998 novel, Paradise. It's going to be the next TV movie adaptation for her ABC deal. You know, she's got, able to do the movies. The last one that she did was Their Eyes Are Watching God. And so the next one she's going to do is Paradise. Okay, great. Beyonce, by the way, was at a big party for Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, who plays for the New York Yankees. It was at the 4040 Club. I think this might have been the same party I was talking about where she was smoking a cigarette. I'm not sure. And she wasn't actually smoking. She just had it, Derek Jeter was there. Jason Giambi was there. Allen Iverson was also there. People Magazine was there covering. Alex was given a cake in the shape of the number 3 and the number 0, and later on danced next to Jay-Z and Beyonce on the dance floor. Great. Sounds like a good time had by all. Do you know that the word on the street is that Jimi Hendrix faked being gay to leave the army? Faked it? Yeah. Okay. There's a new book out talking about Jimi Hendrix. And apparently he was in the 101st Airborne Division back in 1962. And he had it be known that he broke his ankle when he jumped out of a parachute, jumped with a parachute on his back. But according to this new biography, he was given his walking papers, kicked out of the Army after officials got wind of him suggesting that he was homosexual. Well, I don't know. The book is called Room Full of Mirrors. Why? I mean, he was already out there anyway.
Yeah, but he had to fake it. He faked it, apparently, according to the book. Saying that he was having dreams about his bunker mates in his platoon or whatever.
Oh, you read the book?
I read an earlier biography on Jimi Hendrix, and it said the same thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, it was the spring of 1962. And they discharged him citing homosexual tendencies. That's what it says.
Do what you got to do to get out.
Yeah. Well.
Uh-oh.
Do you take it all the way there if you have to?
No.
Do you?
Not in 62.
Not in 62. No. Yeah. Nicole Richie's doing a book. It's called Rock and Royalty. Well. It's going to be out, and they're saying that this book is one of the reasons that is being blamed for the fallout with Paris Hilton. I don't know what she has in this book. Nicole says no and insists that everything is all made up regarding... well, here's what she says. Here's her quote. I would think about things that I have experienced and just twist it down and make them more exciting or a little less exciting, she admits. But regarding she and Paris making up, she says no. They have not made up. That's still, going on. I don't know. I kind of question that. Like, I wonder, this is all publicity for season 4 is a real life that nobody cares about now, but they realize they have some sort of obligation maybe for another episode or something like that. I don't know. Do you know, remember Jason Lewis from Sex and the City? He was Samantha's ex-Smith. His relationship with Rosario Dawson's been going on for a long time. They're in the new, I think it's Us Weekly magazine. She says, Jason and I are best friends. We've been dating since the second we met. I look at us and I wondered why I couldn't do that with every person that I've dated. Well, I guess it would be friends and be lovers. No. All right. Oh, by the way, did I tell you yesterday that Aretha Franklin's son is off the hook? His name is Edward Franklin. That's the one who was accused of setting her house ablaze. And then the one that was in the news recently for stealing a $400 bicycle off the campus of like the University of Michigan or something like that. Well, he's 47. Still being that to me, even if he's let off the hook, the fact that he's even in the same sentence as stealing a bicycle or setting a fire says, okay, well, while, he hasn't been, brought up on charges for either. Yeah, well, what's he even doing in the same vicinity as a story like this? Remember that was back in 2002. The investigation was surrounding Edward Franklin, her son, and a fire at his mother's $1.6 million mansion. But he was cleared of those charges. But still, he's 47. What's he doing even in the vicinity? And a $400 bicycle from the campus of the University of Michigan. Those charges were dropped. But what is he doing even in the vicinity of a story like this? I like Kathy Griffin. I mean, I genuinely like her. I don't much understand the new reality show, but fine. If everybody else is doing it, if you're open to doing one, why not, Kathy? Good for you. It's called My Life on the D-List, and it premieres tomorrow on Bravo at 10 p.m. Listen, I got to be honest with you. I'll catch this in a thons. Another reason that Bravo, to me, is zhuzhing up the activity over there. You got the a-thons of Jonathan with Blowout, B and Bobby Brown. The Queer Eye-a-thons don't turn me on like that, but Kathy Griffin, I'll check this out in an a-thon. But it premieres tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on Bravo. And they have a little mini, because she's married. And they ask her, did having cameras around bug your husband? She says, yes, it drove him crazy. I mean, come on, the guy fixes computers. This is not what he signed on for, okay? But he did lose more than 100 pounds over the course of the show. Then they go on to ask her, it didn't lead you to the brink of divorce or anything, did it? And so she says, no, we're on the brink of continued happiness. They say, how did you convince your parents to be part of the show? And she says, they're fools. Give them a box of wine and they're like putty in your hands, they'll do anything. See, this is why we love Kathy Griffin. Isn't that a great answer? So check her out tomorrow night. I like her a lot. I like you a lot, Kathy. This is My Life on the D-List. It's funny. On Bravo tomorrow night at 10 p.m. My girl, Kathy Griffin. Mm-hmm. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Bodylicious Cruise is coming up. Oh. The way I can tell it, that'll be, vacation combined with fun. It's fun and vacation. Why don't you guys look into it? You can look into it either by going to the bodyliciouscruise.com website or go to stripformyman.com website or go to my website, thewendywilliamsexperience.com. Find out all the information. Me and you, we vacation on a big Royal Caribbean boat to the Bahamas and back. It's in November. Go look. And we'll be back. Thanks. So, Whitney, is there drug use at this present time?
Who are you talking to?
To you, Whitney. You.
No, you're not talking to me. I'm a mother. Only my mother has privy to that information. You talk to your child about that. Don't ask me no questions like I'm a child. Don't ask me like I'm a child, because I'm not a child, Wendy.
The Wendy Williams Experience.
Wendy Williams rocking your station, dropping hits across the whole nation. Wendy Williams rocking your afternoon. Behead.
Exclusively on Wendy Williams.
Wendy got the heat.
How you doing?
Ow. Ow. I'm gay. I'm a homo. I like guys.
This is exclusively on Wendy Williams.
Wendy got the heat.
It's the boy Lil John. And it's that fool Big Sam. Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you, man?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How your mama doing?
How you doing?
How is you doing?
The infamous Mad Links holding it down for Rap City. Check me out Monday through Friday. But right about now, I want you to be very clear about what you're getting. Do you know what you're getting? You're listening to the Wendy Williams Experience. Whoa, that's big.
Yo, did you catch this flashback?
You know what I did on Friday night? I went to the Fuchsia fashion show. That's Wyclef Jean's wife, Claudinette. She's got this clothing line that's been out for a few years. It's called Fuchsia. So I grabbed my mom's hand and link arms with Beast so that, we can get upstairs and stuff. The whole time that I'm holding her hand, I cannot even get into the charming moment of a mother and daughter. Instead, I'm thinking, oh, look at Wendy and her old lesbian lover.
This it right here. Miss a day, miss a whole lot. Coming through your speakers, boy. It's Wendy, man.
All right, now. Here we go. I would love to thank you all for listening today to the Wendy Williams Experience. So thank you very much. We're about to get out of here, but first, a little extra celebrity gossip to take you through the rest of your day. Evening, morning, depending on where you are, what time you listen. So Sandra Bullock, who just got married, has this sister named Jacinth. Jacinth Prado is her name, actually. And Jacinth Prado owns a brand new bakery called Jacinth's Confectionery. And apparently today was the grand opening. And Sandra was there earlier working the cash register, selling macaroons and chocolate chip cookies. And what a great way to drum up business for, your sister's business. That was very nice of her. Isn't she still supposed to be honeymooning? They say the line was out the door. Like, as fast as things were coming out of the oven, hot and fresh, was as fast as they were selling them. Of course, a lot of people were most likely there to meet Sandra Bullock. But then they got a taste of if the product really delivered the goods, this place is off to a great start. I love that. Shout out to Andre, who's working at an OBGYN. Andre says, Wendy, I recently bought your Wendy Williams Brings the Heat Volume 1 CD, but it doesn't have curses. I'm missing a lot of the songs with the curses. I want the curses. Well, they have there's both. You probably, you know what you bought, parental advisory. I appreciate you, Andre. Thank you. Yeah, my CD is in stores now. Thank you very much, Andre. And Andre also wants to know if Artie Life of the Party is the same Artie from Stretch and Bobbito's show back in the day on 89 Tech 9, which was a little radio situation that they had going on here. Stretch and Bobbito, Bobbito, does he still? No, first of all, Artie is not that Artie. Second of all, does Bobbito still do his section in the Source magazine? He still does, right? Yeah. I'm going to be, they have an article on me in the September Source magazine. It's not on newsstands yet. I think Trina's going to be on the cover or something like that. At one point, there was mentioned, that I might possibly be the cover girl. But, when they told me, it was either me or Trina's fat ass. And I mean PHAT. I was like, oh, forget about it. All she's got to do is turn around and open her legs and give that pose, which I'm not willing to give. But during the photo shoot is when I found out, Wendy, do these photos because you could possibly be the cover girl. Then they put me in a pair of True Religion Poom Poom shorts and gave me some knee boots to put on and a Dolce & Gabbana tank top. That was just one of my, outfits. And forget it, I got in that Trina mentality. I tried the best I could. Like, okay, it's then battle of the booties. Why not? I'll try. And I, with much trepidation, I did put on the Poom Poom shorts and the boots and the wife beater. I cleared everybody out because I'm not into changing in front of a bunch of people. And called my confidant, my lover, into the dressing room and said, what do you think? This is before I stepped out before the camera and stuff. Can I pull this off? Okay, forget the cover because clearly, Trina's going to get that. But am I playing my, can I, you know what I'm saying? And it was 2 thumbs up and I was like, okay, all right. Well, then open the door. I'm ready for my close-up. So, shout out to the Source magazine. Shout out to the whole Glam Squad that day. Thank you very much for, because at first I looked at you all like you were crazy. Great selections of stuff. Furs from Demetrio Furs and, like that. But when I saw the Poom Poom shorts, I was like, And sometimes it takes just that extra nod from somebody who you really trust to make you do something that you wouldn't normally do. But I figure, hey, if the Source is, and the Source has all kinds of readers, most of them 22-year-old boys, 15-year-old boys, and like that. So, here go Miss Wendy. And I said, well, I don't want to dress like a Miss Wendy. I want to dress the part of whatever magazine is doing the hollering. So this is the Source. Put away the evening gowns. All right, maybe I'll keep one. I did keep a Steve Lindsay original that, to wear. But I said, give me some hot and poppins'. And then I looked through the racks and I was like, uh-oh. What I'm going to do now? So, anyway. That's the September Source. As a matter of fact, Nicole, did you...
I just came in to tell you that I reached out to Chloe and she's going to give me a call back so she can send over some copies.
Oh, so Chloe over at the Source magazine. Yes. So even though it's not on the newsstand...
We can get it.
The sidebar, I was checking because I want to see how the pictures turned out. If they did all the airbrushing I requested. Not as much as Mariah Carey's front CD cover. No. Because, you don't want to turn something into something that is not. But just a little,
Little zhuzh.
A little zhuzhing. Not to make anything thinner, but just to smooth out a little dimplage in the upper thighs. Yes. I don't like the idea of airbrushing to create a waist or create to create something that's not there. I like the idea of airbrushing to just smooth over imperfections. Dear Wendy, I just want to revisit the travesty interview yesterday with Monique Houston. First off, Wendy, you yourself said that if we do not learn 5 new things from a book, it's not worth buying. In this case, I'm referring to your interview with Monique Houston. All right, if you missed yesterday, Monique Houston came to interview, and she is the ex-wife of Gary Houston, Whitney's older brother, everybody. So this is what Cookie says. Cookie says, Wendy, number one, we knew Gary was a drug addict. Number two, we know Whitney is a drug addict. Why do I still find it hard to say? Number three, looking at Sissy Houston, it is not a stretch of the imagination that she was something back in her day. Her and Dionne Warwick together, smoking the chronic. No doubt she is a bitchy mother-in-law, grandmother. Number four, crackheads are unreliable, hence no child support. What did she expect? She knew he was a crackhead when she met him. Yeah, the first date, they smoked crack together at the, Her, Gary, and Michael, the other brother. They went back to the Four Seasons first date in Boston and cooked crack and smoked it, and then tried to make casual conversations after taking those couple of pulls. But Monique admitted that the pipe was calling her in the other room, like, forget the small talk, let's go back in there and hit it again. And she says, number five, and finally, that shady story that sounded made up about Robin was just an attempt to be interesting. Wrong. According to Mother, good luck with your child support and welcome to the world of single motherhood, because she can put that where back there. That's from Cookie. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Cookie. And once again, I love you for listening today. Can never say that enough. God willing, we'll all be back again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Peace, party people. See you later. I'm saying bye-bye.
Good night.
Program complete.
I never told every... Hey!
There you go. It triggered automatically. I'm sorry.
I never shared with you my Punky Brewster story, my Soleil Moon Frye story. It's an updated version, but Art, I certainly love when you tell your Soleil Moon Frye story. So, yeah. If you've never heard it, it's quite interesting. It involves a professional in a club to a black man. Oh, yes. Art's story does. Mine involves no more professionals turning in your black book and settling down in life. You all keep it here, okay? We'll tell that story and more. The bonus hour is next of the Wendy Williams Experience here on 107.5 WBLS.
What's up? This is Bill Bellamy.
This is your girl, Samore, the queen of hip-hop comedy.
Yo, what's up? This is Keenan Thompson, you know what I'm saying? Understand that, Fat Albert? Understand that, Saturday Night Live? You listening to the Wendy Williams Experience.
Since you've been listening this far, we're going to throw in a little bonus hour. You ready?
How long is this bonus hour going to last? I'm getting addicted.
No, let me tell you, I love this extra hour.
Everything is organic here on the bonus hour.
Yeah, baby. Hey, yo, check this out.
Wendy, man.
Here it is.
It's the bonus hour on the Wendy Williams Experience.
107.5 WBLS.
Jennifer Lopez looks incredible in the new Elle magazine. She's wearing lots of different cool outfits, but most of all, I love the hair. Jen, your hair looks really good. It's teased and popped and just a mess. You don't even have to buy the whole magazine to look at it on the front. Yeah, she looks really good. This is the article where she talked about... she's got some of her sweet face clothes on too. Her look has definitely changed since she's been with Mark Anthony, you know? A lot more regular girl as opposed to unattainable glam. Like, first of all, you start with the hair, which is a mess. Love that. Then inside, look, like she's wearing one of her sweet face things. First of all, she's wearing a blazer worth $348. What do you mean? We can actually attain this? It's not, you know, it's not something over the top with price and name. She's wearing a skirt for $298. They're both from her Sweet Face line, and I understand she's promoting her Sweet Face line. But when have we seen? She's had a clothing line out for a long time now. When have we seen her do a spread in her own clothes? Look.
Oh, she looks nice.
Doesn't she? And real regular girl. Like, we can do this if we want.
Not a lot of makeup.
Not a lot of makeup. Fabulous. Look at these pictures here. Look at that. Look at that nice party dress. This is a party dress. It's Oscar de la Renta. There's no price listed, which means that we can't do it. But it's for the fall. You can certainly copy the look. And look at the hair. A mess. I hope she's pregnant. Good luck, Jennifer. Look at this. She's wearing a really cute outfit. It's sweater pants and a white sweater top to go with it. $398 from Sweet Face. I love it. Look at the pants accentuate her behind. Isn't this cute? The Sweet Face. For $400, this could be you. Go Lopez. We need another visit from you, if you don't mind. Plus 540 pages of great style. Your best shopping ever. Fall extravaganza. Shout out to Chanel Green, who's listening. Wendy, I'm writing you from Tri Media, and we represent Cuban Links. We got a few calls yesterday afternoon saying that they heard on your show that Cuban Links is in jail. I'm not sure if there's another Cuban Links, but the artist that we represent is Cuban Links on MOB Records, formerly Down with Big Pun. He's not in jail. Oh, I'm glad you cleared that up. Sharissa, the singer, went to Rikers Island the other day. And she had already called and requested that Cuban Links and Shine be in the Rikers Island VIP to watch her perform. And me too, I was scratching my head like, Cuban Links is in jail for what? It must be a different Cuban Links because it's not the one I was thinking of. Thank you for clearing that up. Shout out to this man. He doesn't sign his name, but he says, Wendy, I listen to your show almost every day, and I usually love it. But today, please, 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 could you be a little less femme-centric? If I really wanted to hear about nail polish, I'd go home to my wife. I'm sorry, sir. It was just a moment. I was polishing my nails. It turned out to be the wrong color. I had to remove. I just mentioned it for 30 seconds. Okay. You want to hear a story about Usher, or is that in the same vein? do you want me to go on? Just something more masculine. Well, he partied in Atlanta, Usher did, at this new club called Visions. Apparently, they had the grand opening the other night. And so he was there. Mary J. Blige was there, and her husband, Kendu Isaacs. And the next morning, he was spotted shopping in Atlanta at a place called Phipps Plaza, upscale shopping in the Buckhead district. They say that he bought, this is the celebrity spotting, early in the morning, after the party and stuff. He was shopping. He bought a $1,795 coat right off the mannequin at Barney's, as well as a pair of $115 Rogan jeans. He paid $165 for a co-op seersucker, the Barney's co-op, seersucker pants, and $125 for an inner city Raiders vintage t-shirt. Just thought you'd want to know what Usher's planning for his fall wardrobe. Dear Wendy, who is the intern that keeps giggling in the background? She sounds so cute. Why don't you put a picture of the interns on your website, since we can't see in the studio and you talk about them all the time? Last question, who is the intern with the mohawk and the big breast? Is she still there, or has she moved on to make more money? Okay. The intern with the giggle is Zoe the Virgin. And actually, it's all the girls, but Zoe's giggle, I can't stop. Yeah, well, you do have a very infectious giggle, Zoe. And the intern with the boobs and the big and the mohawk, that would be Star. Star comes in and out. What is her status?
She's working, but she comes in and out when she has a chance.
Yeah. Does she still have the mohawk? Did she get a job with that mohawk?
Still got it. Yeah.
She flattened it down for her interview.
Yeah. Oh, for her interview. Yeah. Oh, so it's a disguise mohawk because she's not bald on the side. She was able to bring it down and make it corporate. Very nice. Art, we do need to take pictures of the interns.
We saw them the other day. Remember, on the website. They're on your website.
All of them?
Not all of them.
Well, not all of them, but I
have to finish taking pictures when they come in.
Yeah, take the pictures and let's get them on there. Everything's a work in progress, really. Shout out to Casey in Queens who's listening. Earlier on the show, I told a story about how a woman sat on a toilet seat at Denny's and burned her booty.
Oh,
And because the chemicals, now, no, it wasn't a moist toilet seat, but sometimes, all the time there's chemicals left behind. And if you happen to be the first squat of the morning, of which obviously this woman wasn't squatting, she was sitting her nasty behind down, not even putting any liner on. You almost want to think you deserve what you get. Everybody knows you don't sit on a toilet seat, but we're not going to be that mean. So apparently this woman burned her behind, and she's suing Denny's for $25,000. Her behind still has the marks of the burnation. So Casey in Queens was listening and faxes in this. Wendy, I've got a better question. How nasty is she actually to be sitting directly on the toilet seat in a public bathroom? Exactly. Now, I'll admit I haven't stepped foot in a Denny's restaurant since the rash of lawsuits brought on by various people of color. But last time I checked, they didn't have the cleanest bathrooms. Let's not even talk about the Denny's bathrooms, just bathrooms in general. Every once in a while, after midnight, depending on what I've had at the club and whether I'm having a great time, and you might get weak in the knees and just plop. But then you do say, damn, damn, damn. But and you get right back up. But you do it and you get right back up. But really, it's almost like but Zoe, you're not really in the club like that. I mean, are you? Do you have a drink?
Oh.
Wow.
I have a drink.
Okay. Yeah, every once in a while, though, you make a mistake and you hit the toilet seat, or you don't use a paper towel to turn off the faucet, to protect your hands, and you just go on about it. And then you'll forget that you've done all of the above, and you'll try to catch something growing in the corner of your eyes, and, a piece of mascara, and so now you're spreading, and then you wake up in the morning with the pink eye.
Oh, dear.
That's a bit dramatic, but you know what I mean. Aretha Franklin, everybody, performed on Monday night. Well, her adoring fans were at the ceremony honoring her father, whose name is now on a city park near her childhood home. This is great. LaSalle Gardens Park. It's now, the new name for LaSalle Gardens Park, according to the city council, is C.L. Franklin Park. It's named after the civil rights leader from the South who moved to Detroit and also happens to be the father of, or I would imagine the late father. I don't know whether he's alive or not. He died in 1984. But he was a well-known preacher and a well-known campaigner for civil rights. And he was down with the NAACP, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, and the Urban League. He embraced Dr. Martin Luther King, helped him organize a march in Detroit in 1963. And now he's got a park named after him, C.L. Franklin Park. And Aretha was there to help usher in the ceremony, while the son was probably out in the parking lot eyeing whatever mischief he get up to. 47-year-old grandson of CL. Let's talk about Soleil Moon Frye. Now, Art, before you tell your legendary story, let me tell what I've got. So she had a baby shower. Well, she's 28, and she used to play Punky Brewster, the girl with the mismatched sneakers, but that was a fashion statement, and all the rhinestones, and that crazy dog of hers, Bandit. Wasn't that his name, Bandit? I think. Cherry, her black best friend, who went on to be on, Zoe would know. Zoe, you need a rest of life. No, I'm just playing. It's very charming, and I remember Cherry as well. And remember she went on, Zoe, to play Laura Urkel's best friend on the Urkel show? Well, she was on TV as Punky Brewster from 1984 to 1989. Now she's going to be a mommy. On July 24th, she and the actress Heather McComb, as well as her husband. Heather's husband is James Vanderbeek from Dawson's Creek. Heather and James helped throw the shower at in Studio City, California. Demi Moore was there, and her daughter's Rumor, who's now 16, and Scout was there, who's 14. By the way, their gift was a crib for Soleil Moon Frye. Yeah, you can only imagine what that crib was probably all to do. Thousands of dollars. Melissa Joan Hart who no matter what she does, she'll never be cute. No matter what. You know what it is? It's this right here. She's... And just...
She was cute and Clarissa explains it all.
Oh my gosh, Zoe, get a life. Okay, P.S. I know. Clarissa Explains All used to be on Nickelodeon long before I had my son. So what was I there watching? Because I have no excuse. Zoe, just because you lose your virginity doesn't mean that you stop watching Nickelodeon sometimes. Even I remember Clarissa.
Yeah, but she ain't got no kids, though.
I didn't have a child back then either, Art. What's my excuse?
You're a little girl.
Clarissa was on, what, like 8, 9, 10, 12 years ago, right? So?
Oh, Lord, I don't know.
Oh.
Yes, you do. You don't want to act that knowledgeable because it seems like you really don't have a life. Anyway, she went on to be Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and as we know, Soleil Moon Frye went on to co-star as best friend on the show. So, it was a star-studded to-do. And Soleil Moon Frye is still married. She's been married for a few years. I remember she judged up to a natural D cup. And then she went and she got breast reduction surgery. Remember, that was the big deal. She's like one of the first people that we knew in our heads. You know, we felt like we knew her from Punky Brewster, but her breasts were always a bit big, even playing that little Punky. You know, like all of a sudden she was a flatsy, and then towards the end of the season, the end of the run, she started to fill out a little bit, and they would use disguises to keep them down. Well, now she's having a baby. Terrific. Everything's come full circle, Artie.
Yes, it has.
Since that fateful night back in 90-something,
like 97, 96, something right there.
No, it had to have been longer than that.
No.
What?
It was during the Motown era, yeah. When Andre ran Motown.
Okay, this is the scene. Andre Harrell running Motown Records. Al B. Shore, big on the label.
He was a VP.
He was the VP at the label.
A&R.
Of A&R. So that means that Night and Day, those days were over, but he still was holding on to a bit of stardom.
Right, he was the VP. He had his own label with La Day, remember?
Oh, La Day, the singers.
Right, they were his artists on his label.
Okay, so Night and Day was over.
Yeah, he was then. That was
Okay.
in the 80s.
Okay.
We all went to the Spy Club.
The Spy Club, New York City is the setting.
I'll be sure myself and some other co-workers in Motown.
Now, you might ask why Art was working there. He was an intern or something. What were you doing there?
I was in the A&R department. I wasn't getting a check.
You were doing what?
I was getting a check.
Okay.
So we walk in the Spy Club, and then, we all sit down at a booth. Albie goes away for a half hour, comes back and says, "Hey, everybody, look who I have here." And we looked at him, he says, "It's Punky Brewster." He's like, "Oh, yeah, Punky Brewster." So he said they went to dance, and then I got up.
Did she seem remotely like she'd been having some drinks? Had you all been having drinks also? So then, by the time this all happened, you were more gregarious than usual.
Right.
Hey, Punky!
Yeah, she was very nice, and she waved and everything.
Yeah.
And then her and Albie went to the dance floor. It was crowded.
Uh-huh.
And so I went on the dance floor. Myself.
Who were you dancing with?
Nothing. I was walking through the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't see Albie in them after a while. So then I looked at one of the VIP sections.
Yes. Talk over near the microphone. Stop.
VIP sections, and I see
Punky Brewster on her knees
with Albie Shore
giving him a professional.
And then I turned to the left.
And mind you, Punky Brewster was there with a guy who happened to have been over at the bar, right? Re-upping on the drinks. Isn't that how you told the story?
Yeah, but it was the guy that at the time, I guess, was her fiance.
Okay, exactly.
At the bar.
Okay.
I don't think he knew what was going on, but yeah, that's what happened. It was crazy.
Did you see the happy ending?
Well, if any indication by Albie's face, it was a happy ending. He smiled a lot, so I guess it was a happy ending.
So then she got up off of her knees, wiped off whatever club dust might have been on them, and went back over to her man.
Right.
And they carried on as usual.
Yeah, and I guess she introduced Albie at that point.
Uh-huh.
And then he was like, "Hey, nice meeting you guys." He went back with his friends at the bar.
Now, was there any discretion in this act whatsoever? I mean, were they at least behind a wall or a locked door, or maybe you were looking through a two-way mirror? Nothing?
The whole club was very dimly lit.
Okay.
Very dimly lit.
But they were out in the open. They just dimly lit.
Off to a corner, yeah. Because there's a lot of couches and chairs.
So that means you must have been extremely, hey there, lonely boy in there to be walking that damn close to, as opposed to,
Oh, I'm a voyeur. I was right up there. I was right up on it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, there were all the girls in the club and you're busy being a social retard.
Yeah. That's Albie Shore and Punky Brewster. That's better than any porno movie. That was good. That was good. That was a good look.
In other words, there was nothing going on in the club for Art.
No. Not until I went to the bathroom and finished off, on thinking about them.
Oh. That's probably what stung that woman's booty. Oh, Artie's potent, funky spunk. That'll burn.
Every time.
Who watches 6 Feet Under? It's too dark for me. It's too dark. I was thinking about Lifetime, Viv's show Missing, and I'm thinking that because nobody's paying attention, I mean, granted, I'm sure it's a good show because it's always been doing well since it's been on, but it probably helps out tremendously that there's nothing going on HBO on Sunday nights. So she's just getting her thing on over there at Lifetime. The Missing was just first of all, it is renewed. The Lifetime network said that viewership is up like 20% for the show since the beginning, and also they just ordered 6 new episodes. But it probably helps that Carrie and them are no longer around. The Sopranos is 6 Feet Under is scary, but also aren't they redoing new episodes for new season? That's not currently on Sunday nights.
It's on Sunday nights. It's on new episodes.
New episodes?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Nate Fisher, who's one of the mortuary owners on 6 Feet Under, is going to make personal use of the family business, they say. Oh my gosh, what a terrible way to write this. I'm reading it as I'm talking to you, but no, this is serious. Nate played in the drama 6 Feet Under. He played the character Peter Krause. Do you know that name? I thought you watched the show.
Yeah, but I don't be knowing people's real names and stuff.
Well, the point is that he died Sunday after suffering a brain hemorrhage.
Oh. Moment of silence.
The ending was a shocker for Nate's relatives as well as the viewers. He died on the show, not in real life. On the show.
Oh, crazy.
No, on the show.
Oh.
It wasn't that shocking. Nobody's talked about it. Let's move it over to real life drama. Listen to this, dear Wendy. I need some advice. My friend, who is like a sister to me, is dating a 20-year-old boy, and she's 44 years old.
Oh!
And has children younger than him. Excuse me. He's younger than her children. Yeah. She is so embarrassed by the situation that she's lashed out at her own children who are older than this boy she's dating who's 20. And no, I'm not hating because I have a damn good man in my life. First off, she kept denying it for months that she's dating this 20-year-old boy. And she played him off as a friend of her youngest daughter's boyfriend.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good. And when he, the daughter's boyfriend, told the daughter and the daughter confronted the mother snapped and said it was a lie and that the daughter's boyfriend is no longer welcomed in the home. And more, the next incident is that she has sex with the 20-year-old while the grandchild who's in preschool was in the same bed, supposedly sleeping.
Oh.
Come on, no. Come on.
People are sick.
But I was the only one that did that.
Come on, this is ridiculous. So what do you think the daughter should do? Just leave the mother alone or what? Now the ish has hit the fan. The daughter went to the mother late one night knowing that the young boy was there, and the mother would open the bedroom door because she wouldn't open the bedroom door because she was too embarrassed. So at that point, she disowned the daughter and called. Well, this is a mother who's, forsaking her own libido for, a relationship with this 20-year-old. 44 and 20, I mean, he is legal, whatever floats her boat. But she's neglecting all other responsibilities, which is why we're all looking at it like, I mean, it's all too seedy. If you're going to be bold enough to be 44 and date a 20-year-old, then wear it. Wear it. Only then do you convince the critical world on the outside that, you know what? Not only am I wearing it, but you make the world feel as though, maybe they're missing out on something. You know what I mean? It's all in how you want to put the perception out there, and how she's doing it by hiding and being very cloak and dagger about the whole thing is.
Depends how he looks too. He might look very young too.
Oh, his IG says 20. Okay. I'm not trying to go with him to the Red Robin.
Oh.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to take him on the WBLS Moonlit Cruise 3, which is actually the Midnight Madness cruise. I'm closer to her age than his age. I see the usefulness. I'm not saying I do it, but I see the usefulness. Well, whatever, Zoe.
Oh.
She says, Miss Wendy.
Yeah.
But you don't take him anyplace. He has his purpose.
He's the jump off.
The real down low jump off. During advice hour, a 42-year-old woman faxed me. She said that she's just divorced after 23 years of marriage. All her kids are grown and they live at least 3 hours away from her. She says that she is in her sexual peak. She's 42. She says she's in her sexual peak and she's ready to start dating. And men her age just bore the hell out of her. And she wants to go younger. She was asking me where to go. And I don't have to be there to zhuzh up a plan. I zhuzhed up a plan for her. I told her she needs to enroll in a continuing education program, or hell, just a regular old course at a university.
A good one.
Well, it depends on what kind of guy she wants to meet. Me personally, I would enroll at Columbia or NYU. And because of my work hours, I don't have to be here until 2 o'clock. I'd enroll at like a 10:30 a.m. That maybe they met 3 times a week. Because remember, all my kids are grown. They're out of that. I've been married for 23 years. I'm 42 and my body's still rolling.
Uh-oh.
And so am I mentally. I don't want to meet a complete dummy dork that I don't have anything in common with. Let me get the brochures and find out what I'm interested in, and we'll take it from there. And this is the reason that Miss Wendy would not enroll in night courses, because I need the quad to be hopping. Yeah. Oh, yes, honey. I need to be able to roll my 42-year-old behind in whatever she's wearing. As I say, some 7 jeans through the quad. I'm not going to take all this after 23 years and take some damn night courses. Sure, I can meet the youngins there. But how do you prance campus? Because I'm not just trying to work the class that I'm in. I'm trying to work it and the whole situation, the whole college experience. Oh, Miss Wendy, be walking across the quad or whatever, the courtyard. What is it at Howard, Zoe?
The yard.
The yard. Yeah. What is it at Boston College?
The quad.
The quad. Mm-hmm. See, at Northeastern was the quad too. And you know how important quadation is to the college experience.
Very important.
Yes, the quad is very important to socialization, to getting your to getting your what's going on campus on, to find somebody who can help you out in your classes. Although that would be the library, I guess. Okay, all right. Let me just work the quad for what it is. The point is that, Miss Wendy, 10:30, maybe 9 o'clock at night. I could spare that 2 or 3 times a week. Walk the quad. And how about this? Get a little hungry, go into the main cafeteria. Just see what all they're doing at the student pub. The Ratskeller, they called it at Northeastern. What do they call it at your school?
We had the rat.
The rat, exactly. The calf.
Punch out.
Yep, and I'd be right there. Don't look at me like I'm crazy, Art. I don't have to live it to understand what it be. You know me and my futuristic vision. And if I never use it in my life, that's fabulous. But I certainly have no problem zhuzhing up my imagination and passing it on to somebody else who needs it. So the woman, from Advice Hour, she was 42, looking for a young boy. She wanted to know how to meet him. So you don't want him too young. You don't want him unfocused. Enroll in a school.
Pre-med student.
Sure, pre-med. Why not?
Why not?
You can't enroll in a pre-med class, but you find what you. Yeah.
They're around.
Oh, it's better to go there and meet a young boy on the campuses, women of a certain age, than it is to go in these clubs when they're, eat up and, you understand what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. The poll question that's on the WendyWilliamsExperience.com from yesterday, it was, do you believe once a cheater, always a cheater? 52% of you all said yes, and 48% of you said no. Well, the new question on the WendyWilliamsExperience.com, the WendyWilliamsExperience.com is, does being Bobby Brown, the TV show on Bravo, damage Whitney's career and reputation further? That's the question. Well, this person right here doesn't sign her name, but she's answered. Mind you, that's yes or no on the website, and then I'll give you the results tomorrow. But this person faxes anonymously and says, Wendy, most definitely. Whitney seems snobby. She acts like we, the fans, don't pay her bills. We are the ones that allow her to take vacations and buy candy. Wink, wink. She's talking about, I guess, cocaine. She acts like she can't give anyone a hug or take a picture. This show just allows us to see the real Whitney Houston. And she always looks greasy. She's always sweating. What's up with that? She doesn't have to worry about me asking for a picture or purchasing a CD. So in other words, you're saying yes, most definitely. See? And there is no gray area on the website. Unfortunately, it's yes or no. You know. September 10th, which is a Saturday, Steve Harvey, the king of comedy, one of the kings, and some more, one of the queens of comedy, are going to be over at NJ Pact. Shout out to everybody in Newark. It's going to be a great show. I just wanted you to know that. September 10th, that is. Oh, that's a good show. Sure. That's going to be a real good show. All right, so where are we? We're at the halfway point. Champagne is in again tonight for Vaughn Harper. You know, Vaughn's on vacation all week. I keep thinking that this is Wednesday or Thursday. It's only Tuesday. Jeez Louise. Weekend can't come fast enough. Sunday night, I'm hosting a little soiree, a little listening party over at Club Exit on the rooftop. It's going to be sexy. Mm-hmm. Shadow Nightclub Thursday night, free for everybody.
Uh-oh.
Isn't that great? They got it going on. Chuck Chill Out is over there on Fridays. Actually, Chuck Chill Out's there on Saturdays. But CeCe Peniston is going to be there on Friday because it's the first Friday of the month, and the Shadow does something special every first Friday of the month, at least during the summer. CeCe Peniston live at the Shadow on Friday. Advance tickets are just $10.
That's a good look.
Wait, no. I'm sorry. $10 for advance tickets for the Shadow's first 3 Tuesdays in August for the after-work boat ride. $10. God, that's a steal. I don't know what the Shadow's charging for CeCe Peniston on Friday, but whatever it is, she's a legend. I'm sure it's not going to be too much, especially because the Shadow gives you their all on Thursday nights where they don't charge you nothing to get in. Nothing on Thursdays.
CeCe Peniston is legendary.
Yeah.
Legendary. She treats her band members well.
Art, the problem with you is that while you tell great stories, you do mumble. There's, you know. He looked at them like shut your mouth when they laughed. You know Art mumbles, though, you girls. Art, even though you mumble.
Well, I mean, I think quicker than that's why I stutter. Think quicker than I talk. That's what.
No, when you stutter, you lie. When you mumble, it's just you.
CeCe Peniston is legendary. Is that better?
Well, it would probably be better to play a sound effect to show what you mean when you say that she treated her band members well back in the day.
After a long performance.
Okay.
And after taking a shower.
Oh.
She calls a meeting with her band members.
And tells them how professional they are.
And she personally thanks them for doing a good job. Ray, on the drums, you were the man.
Bring your sticks over here.
Yes. Johnny on guitar. Oh, all of you come over here now.
Let me tune you up. Oh, wow. Well, that was back in the day, CeCe Peniston.
Yeah. early 90s.
Wow.
And don't forget Rosalind, the backup singer.
What? What?
From Philadelphia, who told me everything.
What?
Rosalind. Let me put my face in your place.
Oh my God.
Cece was with
Easy.
Okay. Does Rosalind know Cece personally in a biblical sense?
That was her backup singer. She's from my hometown in Philly.
Oh,
She would
Cece.
come off the tour and tell her story.
See, Cece, don't try to bring any fire over here because we will get Rosalind on this phone
that's
in a
Rosalind.
minute.
Yeah. Yeah, on Rugby Street.
Damn. Exactly.
Let's pay some bills.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll be back. Champagne's in for Vaughn up at 7 o'clock with The Quiet Storm on 107.5 WBLS. Wow.
107.5 WBLS and the Shadow Nightclub present First Friday. Live entertainment every first Friday of the month. Friday, August 5th, the Shadow Nightclub and WBLS join forces to bring to the Big Shadow stage CC Peniston live.
What's up? This is your girl Takara, and you're listening to the bonus hour on WBLS, where anything goes.
This is exclusively on Wendy.
Wendy got the heat.
Follow all the written rules. Hey, what? Pull up to my bumper, baby. All right, how you doing? Welcome back, everybody, to the Wendy Williams Experience. A little atmospheric music for you. The legendary Grace Jones. Oh, shoot. All right, another time we can hear the song in its entirety. This is the bonus hour. Dear Wendy, I think your intern Zoe is still a virgin because she's still a kid inside who refuses to grow up. 8-year-old sister, my behind. She watches kids shows because she likes them herself. She even giggles like a child. Stay focused. Oh, that's from Erica, Zoe. Don't be dejected. Here's another one. Yes, Zoe has a cute giggle. Now she needs to shut the hell up. And she needs to get a boom, boom, boom up in her to make her stop that giggle. Oh, people are so evil. Damn you. Don't be mean to Zoe, please. I had to just put that out there, though, so. There are people who think it's very unrealistic. Yeah. You keep believing in Peter Pan, little Zoe. There's nothing wrong with that.
Why do you make me sound like that?
Oh, I know. I know. We make her sound so damn innocent. Zoe is not that innocent.
No.
Shout out to everyone in Newark. You know, this Friday is August 5th, and the WBLS Jam Van is going to be over at Royal Liquors. Royal Liquors 4. It's in 1073 Bergen Street at Lyons Avenue in Newark. You can meet the Budweiser models and receive prizes courtesy of Budweiser and WBLS. Well, that's this Friday. The Jam Van will be there.
Where at?
Royal Liquors. It doesn't say what time. This Friday, the WBLS Jam Van marks the spot at Royal Liquors 4, 1073 Bergen Street. It doesn't say what time. Maybe our website will have the information at WBLS.com. Hey, Wendy and the crew. Oh, there's the telephone. That might be a time. Shout outs from the West Coast, San Diego. It's Sam. Well, I'll make this quick because I'm at work and it might be kind of cricketish. I like that. But I'm not sure if Artie passed my celebrity sighting on to you from this weekend. On Friday, I went to this trendy club called Sidebar. Well, I walk in, and who's there but Mr. Drill Nista himself, Reggie Miller from the Indiana Pacers. Oh, is his teeth mangled? He was there with some white folks, carrying on and shimmying and dancing with a short brunette, clearly not his wife. At the end of the night, she was wearing his baseball cap. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Sam. That wasn't exactly cricketish, but if Art wasn't on the telephone, then he might have hit the crickets on that. No, I love celebrity spottings regardless. It's hard for the celebrities to even make a move without somebody spotting what they're doing. And the more people that listen to this show, the more it all comes back to us. I love them. I do.
Okay.
Matthew Perry from Friends is about to star in a movie for TNT. It's an original movie called Ron Clark. But just the idea that this is where his career is gone. Really? Well, you know who Ron Clark is. Matthew Perry's playing him. In real life, he's the his exploits as a teacher in East Harlem earned him Disney's 2000 Teacher of the Year. So he's a good guy. Zoe, you watch that for the show and report back. The Ron Clark story. Well, it's the true story, actually, of Ron Clark, whose courage to leave his small hometown and head to one of the most challenging school systems in the country will be laid out before us on TNT. With Matthew Perry as Ron Clark. Boy, his career's taking a nosedive. Jeez. I don't even know when it comes on. You figure it out. Get back to me. Dear Wendy, I'm a 26-year-old black woman with a great job and a great husband. I love his family and get along with his parents very well. Too well. The other night, my husband asked me to go to his parents' house to pick up... Oh, boy. The DVD from our wedding. My husband's mother was at the store, so his father let me in. While I was there, his father asked me to help him get a box down from his closet.
Easy.
His father just had knee surgery.
Okay.
As I was on the ladder, his father stuck his hand on my private area and digitally me. I was caught off guard and didn't know what to do, so I left. Wendy, my problem is that it turned me on. And I pleasure myself to the thought of it whenever I get a free moment.
Beautiful. Wonderful.
Am I crazy or just dysfunctional? Should I tell my husband?
You better not. I know, right?
Oh, boy.
The OG.
First of all, please don't take this further than it is already gone, because you are about to mess up a whole bunch of people's lives. Now she asks, am I crazy or just dysfunctional? Should I tell my husband? Yeah, you crazy, girl. And a little dysfunctional. But why is it I understand? Don't ever tell your husband. You better not ever repeat anything remotely intimate with you. As a matter of fact, stay away from the father-in-law. And you better act on the up and up. But can I ask you to do one favor on behalf of the show?
Getting it easy. What you need?
Cherish that memory forever.
Wow. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
This is like something right out of Forum magazine back in the day. Wow. Don't forget to listen to the Quiet Storm. Well, champagne's in for Vaughn, but you know what? The Quiet Storm is your chance to qualify for a Hennessy VIP access weekend in France. Isn't that fabulous? You'll visit the heart and home of Hennessy and attend a once-in-a-lifetime concert featuring recording artist Common, France, Hennessy. Oh, gosh. This is all courtesy of WBLS and, of course, Hennessy VS Cognac. Stand apart, set your own rules is their tagline. Never blend in. This is fabulous. Can I share something else? I love the real life facts of the real life people. This bonus hour is a combination of everything. You know, we gossip, and it's really the wind down of the day. We gossip, we do advice, just, you know, however the wind blows. Listen to this one from Carl. My name is Carl, and I'm 38 years old. I'm from Edgewater, New Jersey. I'm engaged to be married in 2 weeks. Before I walk down the aisle, I need your advice.
Oh, easy.
I don't know that this requires the drum roll.
I'm
but
looking at you. I'm reading your expression on your face.
Oh, okay. Basically, Wendy, I own my own trucking company, and I'm sleeping with.
Oh, wait, easy.
My 26-year-old secretary.
Oh.
And she's pregnant with my baby.
Oh. The hell?
Before you get on me about protection, I did use a condom, but it fell off me and got stuck inside of her.
Oh, yeah, that happened.
And that's how she got pregnant. Do you notice when a condom falls off when you're actually in mid-stroking, as Clarence Carter would say? We'll be stroking.
Sometimes you can.
But what do you do as a man? You just continue.
If you know, sometimes you need to take it out of her. No.
Yeah.
How
do you know it didn't fall off on the last?
You don't. That's the thing.
Damn. And boy, the chance of getting pregnant, you got all them trapped up in the reservoir.
Yep.
And all you need to do is just side pelvis over this way, and everything dumps out of the reservoir and stays in you.
Yeah. Either the condom was too big for him, or he had a professional before and he got moist and it slipped off.
Okay, easy.
Oh, sorry.
My fiance, are you ready for the rest of this? My fiance is unable to conceive, and I was fine with that. But in my current situation, I want to have this baby, and I asked my secretary to keep the baby, and she agreed. Wendy, the real dilemma is, how am I going to tell my soon-to-be wife? She is a very forgiving person. I know she will forgive me for this, and the wedding will still go on, but, sidebar, isn't he pretty damn presumptuous?
Yes, he is.
You know what? You acting like you know a whole hell of a lot, sir.
Very cocky.
And the wedding will go on, but I don't know exactly how to tell her. How should I go about telling her? So you can picture us. We are all white. Oh, yeah, he's giving me a mind's eye view. I love you for that. Thank you. So that you can get a picture of us, we are all white, and both women mean a lot to me. But I stopped sleeping with my secretary, and I'm ready to tell my fiance tonight. Please help me. The best way to tell her is to tell her.
It's a wrap, though, right?
I wouldn't be so presumptuous, sir. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having hope, but you better get real about the other side of that, which is that she wants nothing to do with you. What are you basing the presumption on? That because she can't have kids, that she doesn't mind you jumping off with the secretary and having a baby? I don't think so. You make a lot of assumptions. Only thing right about this is that you want to tell her as opposed to live a lie. So now get to telling. And the best way to do it is to turn off the TV, tell her in person. And expect the worst. That way, anything that happens better than the worst, which is that, of course, everything is off. I'm sorry I didn't hear about what happened. Those damn condoms. He didn't plan on this. But then he was cheating all along, you rat bastard. All right, you guys. Love you for being here. Gotta go. And I'll talk to you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. The Wendy Williams Experience is out of here. And Champagne's in for Vaughn Harper up next with The Quiet Storm on 107.5 WVLS. Bye-bye.
The Wendy Williams broadcast day has completed.
Aw, man.